Nick thought that the Patriots were going to win it all last year.
Super Bowl 53. You and Chandler in Old Hall, you guys called the Patriots are awful. What are you talking about? And I said, okay, you have to
They
have hope in
were
the best team in the
awful.
league. According to Chandler, what are you talking about?
I never said they're gonna win it all.
I
I think they're gonna be
I think they're barely going to miss the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
I think
Nick,
they're gonna
aren't
make
you the
it.
kid who picked Texas A&M to win our March Madness bracket a couple
And they
years
got,
ago?
to the, they got to the Sweet 16 that year.
Wow, Nick, that's great.
How's it going, everybody? And welcome to the 10th episode special of the Nosebleeds podcast, where today we are going to be doing some tier lists. We're going to have a variety of tier lists today. Since it's our 10th episode special, we're going to be doing some pop culture tier lists as well as some sports tier lists. So, you'll still get your sports content in there for, all the sports people out there. But you're also going to be able to hear some of our opinions on some popular pop culture things going on in the world. So, yeah. My name is Nick Antonakis, and today I'm lucky to be joined by, we got the regulars, Stuart Brooks, Chandler Betts, and we have a special guest, John Camerlo. What's up, guys?
Hey,
What's
Nick.
up?
What's up, Nick?
Thanks for joining me. And obviously a big thank you to all of our viewers for getting us through. This is our 10th episode now. Obviously, thank you for all the support that you've shown us over these past couple of months of doing the podcast. We really appreciate it, and we hope we can keep putting out great content for you in the months to come. So, yeah. All right, so we'll start with our first tier list. We have the XXL rapper freshman class. We're going to be ranking all of the freshman classes from 2010 up to the present. So, you guys ready to dive into it?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I'll name the class, and then Chandler can just go and read off the roster for
Yes.
everybody who doesn't already know off the
Yeah.
top of their head. So we'll
And
start
everybody.
with 2010. We'll start with the 2010 freshman class. Chandler, go ahead.
All right, so 2010 is J. Cole, Hill, Nipsey Hussle, Freddie Gibbs, Big Sean, Wiz Khalifa, OJ the Juiceman, J. Rock, Fashawn, and Donis.
Ooh,
All right,
Who wants
somebody
to
wanna
start?
I can start.
go for it.
All right, so I actually have this one pretty high. I have it in the A tier. J. Cole's like probably my second or third favorite rapper, and you got Wiz Khalifa on there. Pretty strong lineup. There's only a couple dudes on there that like didn't have a career, and mostly he named them towards the end there. So I just think it's a pretty strong class. I haven't watched the Cypher recently, but I thought I remember it being pretty good. So and it's an earlier one, started getting the thing more popular. So yeah.
Yeah, I think in terms of like longevity, I think that's definitely one of the stronger ones because again, like you said, like J. Cole, and even like Freddie Gibbs, like they're still relevant to this day. 10 years later. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, I haven't watched it recently either, but I've seen it.
So where would
So
you
what
put
do you
it?
have for a tier?
Yeah.
I'd probably since I can't really base it off of like the freestyles or anything because I haven't watched them recently. Just in terms of like that lineup, I'd say that's A, honestly.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong lineup.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
agree. I'd probably put it at A just because of the popularity that some of these guys have who have turned into really big rappers like Wiz Khalifa, like you guys said, J.
Yeah,
Cole.
exactly. Yeah.
Did you say J. Rock was on this too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he turned out pretty big as well. So
Yeah,
you know.
I think there's like 4 or 5 dudes who are still like pretty relevant, and I think
Yeah.
on this list there are at least 2 or 3 where it was only like 1 or 2 dudes who really like had
Yeah.
staying power. And this is 10 years old, and we still have at least half the class is still like relevant in the hip hop community. So
I was actually really teetering between A and S, but then I decided to go with A, just
Yeah.
because we definitely have people that aren't relevant anymore, but
Mhm.
that was a really strong class. There are a couple.
sure.
There are a couple really strong classes. There are also a couple really weak classes. I think we'll get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all comparatively weak, but
Yeah.
All right, so we
so are
all
we good
agree.
on A tier?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
all
have that on
agree
A
on
tier.
A
That's a-
tier for
yeah.
the 2010 class.
Nick, you're gonna
Yeah.
write down our
Yeah, I'm writing it.
collective thoughts. Okay, cool.
Nice.
All right, so now we'll move on because we all agree. We'll move on to the 2011 class. Chandler, take it away.
All right, we've got Meek Mill, Big Crit. Oh God, considering I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Sci-Hi the Prince,
Sahara Prince, yeah.
Lil Twist, Yellow Wolf,
Wait, slap it at him. Sorry, go ahead.
Fred the Godson, Mac Miller, YG, Lil B, Kendrick Lamar, and Diggy Simmons.
Oh, I like that one too. All right.
That's got to be S tier. Come on.
I'll start again. So I had this one, actually I had this in A, but I was debating between A and S just because there are a couple dudes on there that like aren't relevant like at all. I mean, I know part of the issue with that is that it's an 8-year-old class, so like you have to take into account that like these dudes' careers have been not dead, but like not relevant for 5 or 6 years. But like, I mean, you got Kendrick in there. I mean, you think he's probably the best rapper out. He's probably my favorite rapper out. And wait, can you just list a few? Well, I'm forgetting.
Meek Mill was on there.
Meek Mill, yeah, okay.
The relevant ones, we got Meek Mill, Mac Miller, YG, and Kendrick.
Yeah, okay. And
Mac Miller was big too.
Was Lil B on there too?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, because he. I don't know if he always puts out the most consistent work, but he's definitely like an icon on Twitter and stuff. So I had this one A with 2010, but I think it's a little stronger.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think A, but like that's like a strong A, honestly. Like definitely ahead of 2010, especially with like Kendrick and Mac Miller, especially. And who else? Who else you said?
YG was on
Meek.
there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Meek and YG. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that's like a stronger A, honestly. Borderline S, but still A.
I actually am gonna push it over to S just because of how close 2010 was. This one is just a little bit better, and I can't really justify, in my mind, giving them both an A. I think like the tiebreaker between them is best rapper, and I mean right between J. Cole and Kendrick, those are two of the best rappers of our generation. And I have to give it to Kendrick in that, so I'm gonna put 2011 in S tier.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Chandler and go with S tier as well, just because even though, like you said, there are some unknown guys on that list, the known guys on there have had such big careers so far. It's just kind of,
Actually,
I think they're deserving of an S tier.
I'm actually thinking about it now. I'm actually, like, not even, like, to just, like, the bandwagon or whatever. I think I actually will push it to S, actually. Just because of, like, like Kendrick and Mac and Meek and YG.
Yeah, that is actually, especially if you just like a chart success, it might be like the best of any of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Honestly.
Apart from a future one, but yeah, okay. So we can just roll with that one at S.
All right, so we'll throw 2011 up to S tier.
All right, cool.
All right, and now we're at 2012. Chandler, go ahead and read it off.
2012 is Future, Kid Ink, Danny Brown, French Montana, Macklemore, Don Tripp, Machine Gun Kelly, Hop Spin, Iggy Azalea, and Roscoe Dash.
I had this one at B. There's some good rappers there. Danny Brown's excellent. Sorry, who's the very first one?
Future.
Okay, Future. Yeah, I'm not like a huge fan of his, but he's like a guy who's put out pretty consistent and popular
Extremely
work.
Influential.
Yeah, and that too. Machine Gun Kelly's been pretty successful, but there's also a couple downers there. I mean, I don't really like Hobson at all. Kind of stand his music. Macklemore, the first album was like okay, but like since then he's been kind of useless. And generally he doesn't set up to the other guys. And then Iggy Azalea, I mean, how do you have her on a freestyle? That's just weak. That brings the whole class down. So I have it as a solid B. I have it as a solid B tier, as a step down from the previous couple of years.
That's like a mid to low B for me.
Yeah,
I'll say.
Yeah, I'll agree with
like,
John there. I would. Oh yeah, go ahead, John.
No, I was just say because like there are some big names, but also again like there's like Iggy and like Hobson and Macklemore and like
you have to average out the class. Those ones bring it down like a good amount.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think Macklemore was that bad. I mean, especially at the beginning of his career, he was really popular. Like he had those like 3 wicked popular songs that would just be playing everywhere. Like
the Thrift Shop was the first song.
Yeah, Thrift Shop.
Can't Hold Us. Yeah, that was at every sports game.
The other one, yeah, like those were like they played all the time. That's all I listened to in like grade or whatever. But yeah, I mean, for that reason, I'll put it.
I can just imagine Nick listening to
that. that was in my 5th grade playlist or whatever. It was just like on the airplane. I remember I was listening. That
was one of the first times I ever got exposed to any kind of like hip hop at all, because I was only like 9 years old, so that was like I can't believe that song went number 1. It's kind of a joke, but
I think my early memories of hip hop actually are probably my earliest memory of hip hop might be Kanye, because like the oldest song, like the oldest song I can remember listening to was Heartless, because my older brother is a Kanye fan, and like so when he was a teenager, that's when 808s came out. So like I remember hearing it all the time.
Yeah, that's a lot earlier for you though than most of us, because I don't think Thrift Shop was until like 2013.
No, that was like
somewhere around there. But I mean, like for that reason, I mean, I was gonna throw it down to C tier, but I think I'll pump it to like a B minus.
Yeah, it is a very, very low B.
Very
for me.
low B.
All right, we can roll it up.
Yeah.
Chandler, do you want to give any thoughts or?
No, I mean, I think everyone pretty much covered it. Staying power has not been great for this, though we do still have Machine Gun Kelly, who's still relevant in the future, who's still very relevant. But, yeah, I mean, there's not really much to be said about this class. It kind of just was.
I just love Danny Brown.
B, yeah, in terms of our, like,
I love
scaling
Danny Brown.
system, B is average, and I think this is slightly below average.
Yeah.
So it's a low B.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Yeah, all right, we can all settle on that. Okay, now we move to the 2013 class.
Yeah, we've got Schoolboy Q, Trinidad James, Joey Bad A,
You can say
double
Badass.
dollar sign.
You can say Joey Badass.
Yeah, you can
Okay,
say
fine.
badass. it's
AB
fine.
Soul, Logic, Action Bronson, Kirko Bangs, Travis Scott, Dizzy Wright, Angel Hayes, and Chief Keef.
Ooh.
All right, so like that's really honestly, and like you guys might disagree with me, but that's pretty like high A tier at least for me because like
Really?
okay,
Whoa.
Yeah, because- well, because, like, because-
John's a Travis fan.
Well, yeah.
no, even ignoring that, like because a lot of those names are still pretty relevant, honestly.
Yeah, it's true.
Like and speaking of Logic, like you guys saw that he's retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't
He
enjoy his
is?
music very much, but like
Yeah.
he's very popular.
Good.
So
Yeah.
I also don't love Logic music, but
Me neither.
you have to.
But he-
but
but,
keep
like,
going, John.
He is
Keep going, yeah.
biracial.
Yeah, but like and Nipsey Hussle also like I mean I'm not gonna like okay.
But I don't think he's in that class.
Nipsey Hussle was in 2010.
Oh, was he 2010?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was 2013. Wait. Let's off the names again one more time.
This is 2013. Schoolboy Q, Trinidad
Schoolboy
James, Joey Badass, AB Soul, Logic, Action Bronson, Kirko Bangs, Travis Scott, Dizzy Wright, Angel Hayes, and Chief Keef.
That's like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
dudes,
So
like,
and so
pretty
we also have Chief
Yeah.
Keef, who's I think Chief Keef has definitely influenced like a huge portion of modern hip hop.
Yes.
And Joey Badass is like he's like a modern classic, I'd say.
He just dropped something on Friday, I think.
Yeah, it was like an EP, I think, or like a
EP,
3-song. Yeah. Actually, I mean, okay, I'll say that's like a moderate A because like there are some unknown names, but I think the names that are known have really gone pretty successful.
Yeah.
And like
I mean,
I'm not even gonna mention Travis, honestly.
you could argue that like, other than Kendrick, Travis is probably the most successful rapper out of any of the ones named so far.
Yeah.
And like a lot of these dudes, even like Action Bronson, like they have like this is
Yeah.
for success. This is far more successful than like the previous class.
Yeah.
So like generally speaking, like as John was saying, like Chief Keef basically like inspired the drill sound coming out of Chicago at that time.
Yeah.
So I have it like a high B just because like I don't know, other than like Travis and I think one of the earlier ones that you mentioned, I'm not a big fan of all of them, but like it's at least a high B, maybe even an A for me. Somewhere around there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
I-
Go ahead, Chandler. You sure?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Me?
So, yes.
Okay, I'm confused. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna agree with Stuart here. I'm gonna go with a high B just because, like he said, obviously, I think the only person who's holding it up to a high B for me is Travis Scott. Without him, I think it would be around the C tier, something like that. I mean, I do like Chief Keef, but like other than that,
Yeah.
I'm not huge on. I mean, obviously,
That's
I'm not
fair,
as
actually.
familiar. I'm not as familiar with them as you guys are, but at the same time, I'm just not huge on any of the other guys there, and I just feel like Travis Scott is kind of carrying them. I don't feel like they're deserving of a tier. I mean, A tier, no matter how good Travis Scott is.
Hey, you can't count on Joey Badass like that.
Yeah.
Come on, Nick.
I mean,
He
I'm
puts
not
out
super-
a
well, I'm
lot
not
of good
super familiar with Joey
work.
Badass.
Okay, but he's
Well,
put out a lot of
he's
good
had like
work.
one of the best mixtapes like in the
Yeah.
last like 10 years, and he was like 16 when he dropped it.
He's put out a
Well,
ton of
okay.
consistent work since like the last
I'd be
like 4 or 5
2012,
years.
like 2012, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
Yeah,
After this
Okay,
is over,
well, I
I'll
mean,
watch.
all right, without Travis, I'll say like maybe a B minus.
but it's
How
with
about
him. So
Okay.
Oh,
with
yeah,
him,
I'll say
I'll bump it up to a B plus.
I'm gonna keep it like either A minus or B plus. That's what I'll say.
I'll go B plus.
I was at a B, but then I hadn't even really thought about Chief Keef's influence on the later XXL or XXL rosters and how he's influenced rap. So that would,
right, every year there's been
I'm-
like at least
I'm
1 or
at-
2 drill artists
yeah, I'm at
since
an
he.
89 or a 90.
Yeah, it's like right
I'm gonna,
there.
I'm gonna say an A minus, so an A tier, but I'd be fine putting it in B.
All right, so we can just roll with it probably at the high B.
Yeah.
level.
Yeah,
Yeah, is everybody
Yeah,
good with high
that's
B?
fair. That's fair.
So it
I
could
mean,
be
yeah,
the high.
I like Travis. I just don't feel like he can carry them
Well, but
that
you're the only one
far.
who thinks that. So
Well, he's not the only one carrying.
yeah, there's plenty of
Well,
dudes
yeah.
on there.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
yeah,
as much
no.
as we don't like Logic,
he's the
Logic is
biggest.
still
He's the biggest guy
good
on that
rapper.
list by far.
I mean, and yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like or hate Logic, and like I like his earlier work, like Under Pressure,
Oh,
and
well,
like
true. I actually
I like
kinda
everything
forgot
up to the
Logic.
first Bobby Tarantino.
Yes.
yeah, around that, yeah. So like, but either way, like Logic or hate Logic, he's massively successful,
Yeah, and he's
That's
always
and
the
like to be able to retire from rapping now, like
Yeah. How old?
you know,
is
like
I
now
know, I
he just
didn't
wants to
even
be a
know
dad.
that.
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
that
no,
was like last week.
It was like Thursday or something.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Oh,
he
wow.
he like took a
He's only
he took a
30.
social media break. He took like a social media break, and then like we all found out he has like a kid now, and like he has a wife.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
he got remarried.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Good for him.
All right, well, let's move on to the following year.
All right, yeah,
Yeah,
2014. Chandler, go for it.
2014, we have Chance the Rapper, Rich Homie Quan, Isaiah Rashad, Ty Dolla $ign, Lil Durk, Kevin Gates, Troy Ave, Vic Mensa, John Connor, Lil Bibby, Jaron Benton, and August Alsina.
Okay, I think that's a pretty weak class.
Yeah. it's
Yeah,
pretty
I mean,
weak.
like okay, I don't even know like the average like hip hop listener. Like I don't know how much of like this class they even know. Like I know some of the names.
Yeah.
Like,
All I know
songs
is
I listen
Chance the
to.
Rapper.
I know Chance the
Rich
Rapper.
Homie Quan had
I know
that
Rich
one
Homie
song.
Quan. I know
He had
Kevin
that
Gates.
one song. Kevin Gates was. I'm surprised that was his debut because he had been making music.
Lil
In the
Lil
Louisiana
Durk is
area.
still pretty big.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I know
Yeah,
Little Dirk, but I don't like
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but either way, yeah. I mean, for me, that class isn't like super like. They're not influential or anything. They're just still pretty relevant. So I'm gonna say like pretty low B for me. Maybe C. Like
I have it in the
I
C.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say high C honestly.
I
I
like
was thinking like mid C.
Chance is very influential, and he's super.
Chance is very influential.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
and
last-
like
Kevin
his
Gates
last
is
album was
also
terrible.
very relevant still, and Rich Homie Quan also. But
Well, he only had that one
I
song.
mean, yeah,
he was also on Days Before Rodeo.
Yeah, well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well I know that.
Chandler wasn't.
but yeah, no, there just hasn't been staying power in this class.
Yeah, I agree.
I think
I
A
think
lot of those
besides,
names, a lot of those names you were listening towards the end, I didn't even recognize like at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Like John Connor, like I don't know who that is.
yeah, I
He's-
mean
he's
like
the dude from
again,
Terminator.
like Chance the Rapper definitely I feel like carries that class because like Lil Durk is like he's popular now, but like he's not like.
He's
Like,
bad.
I don't think anybody's like, oh yeah, my biggest influence is Lil Durk,
Durk,
man.
yeah.
Like,
Dude, I'm bumping Little Dirk.
For him to
all
be like the
time.
fourth strongest of that class means that like just generally.
Oh,
speaking,
that's
it's like-
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so I have it C. I think probably
C.
we're
Yeah.
okay at that level. There's a couple
Mid
good-
C, or
that also
do you
feels
want to
like
argue
there's
high
many
C?
people are in that class.
I'll say high C because of Chance.
Yeah, because he's just had so much success, even though
Even
John
though
has
the Big Day
mixed feelings about his-
massively flopped.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
it's not good at all.
Like his initial 3 mixtapes are just
Just,
like,
yeah,
Yeah, Chance
Acid
is
Rap
solid.
Coloring Book were both like pretty successful.
Oh my God.
Nick just ruined the entire podcast.
Oh no,
Nick, what'd you do?
Nick.
It's all good. It's all good.
Nick's gonna put the next one in S tier.
Oh
guys.
my God.
It's all good, Nick. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Fell off my desk.
Just give it a sec.
Okay,
Just
I'm
give it a
back.
sec.
I'm back.
All
I'm back. I'm back.
All right, welcome
Can you
back.
hear me? So
I was
back,
afraid
Nick.
I was gonna.
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to
you're good.
be the point
Okay,
man.
okay.
I was gonna have to become Nick.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I mean, yeah, it's the next man up. Next man up mentality. All right, let's move to 2015.
Okay, 2014 high C. Did we say?
Yeah.
High C.
Sure,
Okay, go
yeah.
for it.
Fetty
All right,
Wap.
you can read 2015. Yeah.
Yeah. Fetty Wap. Dej Loaf. Rari. Kid. OG Mako. Shy Glizzy. Hey Camp. Vince.
What's his name? Shy Glizzy?
Shy.
It's a Glizzy guy.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's
God.
very funny.
Yeah. K Camp. Vince Staples. Tink and Gold Link.
All right.
Yeah, just-
Let
All
me
right,
just
this,
start.
okay,
for
this,
me,
this is like a
Let
let
D.
me just start really
This is
Yeah,
fast.
terrible.
This is by
I don't
far.
know a single
go ahead.
person on that list.
You don't know
Yeah, you
Fetty
do.
Wap?
Fetty Wap or Vince
Okay,
No.
Staples?
okay, the thing is,
Dude, Fetty Wap was huge. Are you
Wait,
serious?
wait.
Fetty
Let
Wap's
me
not-
just-
Stop,
Heard of them.
stop, stop.
I've never
Stop.
listened to one of his songs before.
You've
Stop,
never.
stop.
Nick,
How did you
dude.
not know
No.
who that is, Nick? He was like the biggest
Nick.
rapper when we were in 6th grade.
Seven-
Dude,
seventh
Trap
grade, Nick.
Queen, do you not remember
Trap
that?
Queen.
What he's saying?
7, 8,
Trap Queen?
6, 7,
I'm
9.
like,
How
hey,
could you
what's
not
up,
know that?
hello?
Yeah, that song. And also, what was that?
I didn't
6,
listen-
7,
I didn't
9?
listen to rap.
Dude, it was like the biggest.
That's like the mo-
Nick,
Bro.
it was like the biggest song among our grade
It was
level when we were in
If you
sixth grade.
if you think I'm uncultured now, Imagine how uncultured I was in 6th grade.
Oh,
I was
geez.
so
I'm
uncultured.
just shocked you didn't know who that was.
You don't even have to be uncultured to.
How can you know
uncultured is the right
Macklemore
word. It's
but not
just
Fetty Wap?
Like listening to music.
Macklemore was like,
Dude, Fetty Wap was way more successful chart-wise in that
Yeah.
stretch.
well, Can't Hold Us had no swears in it, so I think I was allowed to listen to it.
Oh, so there's the reasoning. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, no, okay. Let me say something.
Gotta have
Nick was
those
a Will
restrictions.
Smith.
So this is this is a solid D for me. The reason it's a solid D for me because like okay, I know Fetty Wap, and I know Vince Staples. Fetty Wap is literally
D'Angelo,
like
probably.
he's most relevant for being irrelevant right now.
Yeah, for his career
Wow.
just completely
So,
plummeting
like,
after 1
yeah.
year.
Like everyone still talks about it, but they're like, damn, Fetty
Where's
Wap fell
Fetty Wap?
off.
Where Fetty Wap?
Yeah.
Is
He
he
had
in
that,
jail?
like-
he was on 169 song recently.
Oh,
He was in New
No,
York.
yeah, no, he was on like his mixtape or whatever.
Ew.
No, he
yeah.
was on like Keke or Kiki
No,
or whatever the song.
Oh
is.
yeah,
Ew.
Kiki.
I'm not gonna sing it, but like I know
Yeah, and
they
like,
were in
okay.
New York, and he's like
Yeah.
he sings the hook, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, like and so like then there's Vince Staples, but like that's it. Like that's
Vince-
all I recognize. I think.
What kind of name is Vince Staples?
He's a pretty good rapper.
That's
I mean,
his real
yeah.
name.
he hasn't had a
Staples?
bunch of.
I
He
think
hasn't
of
had.
a department
He's not
store.
super mainstream.
He's not.
Yeah,
He's a pretty lyrical guy. He's pretty good. Also, I remember him. He appeared in a lot of those like Truth anti-cigarette commercials.
Oh really?
Oh, he did?
Yeah, so that's
Is he in
didn't know
that
that.
one with the metal monster?
no, he's not like in
Oh,
the ones that he's not like in the scary ones where they rip out the teeth.
Show how
at the
scary
convenience
that is.
store.
No,
The ones we watched in
We've
school.
had
No.
metal monsters.
That one. Is that him?
No, but can we just agree that this is like I think this is like almost certain, like not almost
This is
certainly,
definitely the worst.
This is
the
certainly a
weakest
D.
It's
one.
not close.
Oh, yeah.
This is a
I don't
D.
even remember what the cipher was at all
I
about
can't
this,
either.
and this wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah, this is like 5 years ago.
I mean, K
Yeah.
Camp has only been relevant. I mean, in my mind, just because of Lottery,
I know who that is.
the Renegade,
Yeah.
the Renegade song, the Renegade song.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy who
Renegade.
So that actually takes the points even further down.
yeah, it takes it even
put it in
the-
more down.
We'll put it in the
I
E
was
tier.
literally thinking about putting this as an F tier. Then Fetty Wap
Damn.
barely put it,
Yeah, just because of the
barely
relevancy
put
of
it up
his.
Just
career
because
for
he was
6
relevant.
months.
and I can
All right, so
still
should we
bump
add
Fetty
it here?
Wap
Should we
for
go
like a good
S, A, B, C,
6
D,
minutes.
Fetty Wap?
Yeah.
I think we could just leave him at D because
Yeah,
it-
low D.
it's not that much worse than. I mean, 2014 was considerably stronger, but like it's still not that strong. Like it's not like
Yeah.
a whole 2 tiers stronger. And there's another list. There's another year that I don't really like in here too that we'll get to. But
Yeah.
all right. So we're gonna have that probably gonna be the lowest on our list.
All right, yeah,
All right.
we'll settle for low D tier for the 2015 class. Almost dropping it to the Fetty Wap tier, but not yet. All right, go for 2016. Chad.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, this is the
Lil
year.
Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, Kodak Black, Denzel Curry, Gierbo, Dave East, Lil Dicky, Anderson .Paak, Designer, and 21 Savage.
Bro,
So I'll just open here. That is, I think it's almost just as the last one was certainly the worst. This is certainly the most legendary. The cipher with Kodak, 21 Savage, Lil Yachty, and Lil Uzi Vert is like probably the
And
most
Denzel,
well-known.
and Denzel.
Yeah.
And Denzel, yeah.
Also, like even if you don't like some of the artists, like I'm sure that most people will find at least 2 or 3 in here
Little
they
Dicky.
like.
Designer.
I mean, except for him, but
Yeah.
every single one of the dudes on that list had a career at like a
Yeah.
successful career at some point. And the dudes like the best dudes, Uzi, 21 Savage,
Curry.
Curry, Lil Yachty, like all
Yachty.
these people
Yachty.
are like, if you took just one of those dudes and put it, I think in either of the last 2 years, 14 or 15, it would be the strongest.
Yeah.
I
Like
think
what?
it just,
What?
it's like it's almost good enough that you could justify putting it at even a higher tier than S. Like if
Yeah.
there was comparatively, just
There's an
because
S plus.
it
Like,
is
my-
that level. And
my
I think
thing is-
yeah.
No, wait, no, finish off.
Yeah, just me and John would also agree. Like, I know that we're not really basing it off the ciphers, but the cipher itself is also one of the
Oh my
strongest.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, like okay, like look at this class, right? It's like there are all these new artists, right? That there's like it's been 4 years, 4 years now. Uzi, for example, is like one of the biggest rappers
One of the biggest
out
artists.
there, and has
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
Denzel Curry is just he's had one of the most him and Uzi have had some of the most solid discographies I've ever seen in the last like couple years.
Taboo is like one of the best rap records of the decade.
And like honestly, like just looking at the class overall, like there's the people that are like, oh, this is like the mumble rap class or whatever. But like look at the end of the day, like they all like are massively successful. They've all had solid, not all of them, but like you know they've for the most part they've had like the strongest. I'd say they've had the strongest discographies out of all of them, just combining. And just like the way they maintain relevancy, like even Lil Yachty, like
Also, I mean,
Yeah.
this class was the one that made XXL like
Big.
like really famous.
Yeah.
Like this is like probably when most people first heard of it and saw it when they
This
saw
was my
the Cypher.
first cipher.
Yeah, I don't think I'd heard of it before either. So that's just the cultural relevancy is important. Like it's like a landmark. Like from this point on, people actually started to really care about who was going to get on that list.
Yeah.
I don't think we really need to say anything.
Oh my
more.
god,
That's
Lil
S.
Dicky's
S.
freestyle was also so good. Lil Dicky's freestyle
Yeah,
was so good.
that was the highest point of his career.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Lil
like
Dicky.
he's like on TV now though.
Yeah, I know.
Doing what?
Lil
No, he's like
Dicky-
on a show.
Yeah.
He's like an actor.
Lil Dicky
He's
is
trying to-
he's an excellent freestyle rapper, but his actual like music, I don't love it. But
Yeah, I know.
He
I'm
is
just not
such
into
a
like
secret
I'm not into like jokey rap, but like I
number one
respect
rapper of all
it. I
time
respect
is Lil
it.
Dicky.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
like his freestyles,
I wouldn't put him.
like super
I-
cerebral.
I put him around the level of Fetty Wap, like for somebody that I
Really?
enjoy.
Oh.
But just the thing about that is, I think he's probably one of my least favorite on this whole class. But I still don't hate him.
Yeah,
Or
I think he's
and I still know who he is. Like there are other classes that even newer classes that I still don't recognize the artists' names
yeah.
that are newer. So that's just
Yeah.
saying it. And obviously Designer. It's kind of interesting that Designer was probably like one of the most popular when this dropped, and now he's probably
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put
All
that
right.
S tier.
Easy
Put
S
that
tier,
S tier.
S plus.
S.
Yeah, I'm gonna say top S tier, definitely. So 2016 at the top of S tier.
All right.
And now we
2017.
move into 2017.
All right, so we've got Kamaya, we have Boogie, A Boogie with the hoodie. We have PNB Rock, Playboy Cardi, Amine. I'm not sure if it's Amine. Carolina.
Amine, yeah.
Amine. Okay. Cap G, Kyle, Ugly God, Maiden, TYO, and X.
So honestly, I think this is like one of. I mean, I like it at least. I know like some people didn't like this class. I like it personally. I just think like even though like it's not as strong as 2016, definitely like Playboy Cardi is just okay. Like I'll start with Cardi. Cardi, everyone's like. There's so many rappers that are just like biting his sound now, like his, where you can't really tell what he's saying, like the baby voice. Everyone's biting Cardi right now. He's maintained relevancy. X, I mean, like of course, like he became pretty big and then he passed away. But like,
Yeah.
like people but like I've been looking especially a lot at like upcoming like South Florida rappers. A lot of them are influenced by Curry and X. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kodak probably to a certain
And
extent.
and Kodak and and PNB Rock is also like he just he's decent. I like some of his songs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is like an A for me.
Yeah, I had it at a high D. It definitely is a pretty strong class just looking at the roster, and obviously there is somewhat of like a recency bias with some of the dudes that aren't as popular, but since it was a few years ago, we still might know their names. I don't want to count into it too much because we're not basing off of it, but like in comparison to other years, I don't think the freestyles themselves were very strong. At the thing,
Yeah.
like I don't think Ugly God's verse is very good. Actually,
Yeah.
surprisingly, Kyle's verse was good. I don't like him at all. He's actually like, I very much dislike him as an artist, but he's super corny. But like he's good on that freestyle.
Yeah, I mean, I think X's was super like controversial. Like
Yeah, because that
pretty
was
iconic.
that. Yeah, I mean, it ended up being a major meme on the internet, and like
Yeah.
it's fine. It's a little strange, but like
Strange.
it was with the
I like
I have.
Demi
Look,
and
I might
John's-
have my. I might have my biases because you guys know
Yeah.
like I'm a big X fan and like even before like I'm a big Uzi fan, but like even like but look, putting that aside, like I just feel like this is a pretty solid. It's not like the best class, but it's a pretty solid one. Like it has its downs. The freestyles weren't amazing. Roster wise, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
All
I'd
right.
put it. I would say low A. Yeah, the roster is really good, and it's only really bolstered by X.
Yeah.
And I also really like Boogie. I love Boogie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Boogie,
he's
yeah.
definitely he's good rap, and he's also had a tremendous amount of success in the last.
Yeah,
couple.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then I mean, it's just a really well-rounded class, and yeah, low
Do
A.
you guys see? Not to go too off topic, but do you guys see? I saw this meme one time, but it's like an actual thing. There was like some K-pop song where like they're literally like emulating Playboy Cardi's sound, but like in Korean.
Yeah, I did
Like,
see
they're,
that.
they're
Yeah.
like,
Really?
yeah.
Really?
They're like, "Give my money, shit, yeah, beep, 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 ah." It was so funny.
His
Also,
reputation His
I'll send it to the
reputation
group
has
chat
taken
after
a
this.
beating though. In the
Well,
last,
yeah,
like,
after because like
first it was the Pain verse, and then now they haven't
at
dropped.
May.
He hasn't
At
dropped
May.
Red. He still hasn't. He still hasn't dropped Red. And
Yeah,
the
honestly-
and the Playboy Cardi subreddit just keeps getting posted on Twitter like every day with some of the
There's a bunch of
Oh my
weirdos.
god.
Yeah, I check it frequently to see like everybody. It's all just memes about people being sad that he hasn't dropped the album and stuff like that.
Honestly-
Like, he treats his fans bad and stuff. But I thought his debut was excellent. So.
No, last thing I'm gonna say that's like like on the same topic, but like I'm honestly as much as I like Cardi, I'm not that excited for Whole Lotta Red anymore because
It's just
like
hard to
like Stuart said, like first of all there was the verse on Pain 1993 at May was pretty bad.
Yeah, it
He
wasn't
hasn't.
good.
I mean, and all like he's been having leaks come out and they've just been pretty bad. I think he's using too much of the baby voice thing now. It's getting old.
Yeah.
He can rap.
Rip
Like
the
he
baby
has
voice.
lyrical ability, and I think
He
his
did-
production has been pretty good. Even
No,
though I'm
yeah.
sure he isn't the one mixing his
No,
album.
him and Pierre Bourne are like
Yeah.
an amazing
What's that?
combo.
Oh, Location. I just love that song,
yeah, me too.
especially because of Elon Musk meme. But anyway,
Oh my god.
I'll send it up to you. But anyway, roll ahead.
All right.
So wait, where are we ranking
Yeah,
this one? B?
I'll agree with you guys and throw it at a. I was gonna agree with Chandler and throw it at an A- just because of
I'll
the
say A.
legacy
Alright, so
that
we're
some
rolling
of
an
these guys left.
All right.
So yeah, this is the 2017 class, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
make sure I'm not screwing it up. Okay. All right, 2018, second to
Alright,
last
two
class that we're gonna do here today.
We've got Ski Mask. We got Lil Pump, Smoke Perp, Jid, the first guy.
J.I.D.
Jaddy.
Jaddy.
It's not that, okay. Stefan Don, Block Boy, Namir, Wi-Fi's Funeral,
Yeah.
and Trippie Redd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trippie Redd. I think that was
I-
pretty belated for him to be on that list. Like he should have been on in 2017.
He should have. I like that class. I mean, yeah, no, Ski Mask is just one of the best. He's been one of the best since he came out. Honestly, he's like an amazing freestyler. His style is so insane. I really want him to drop a new album because he's been teasing it like for
I know.
months now.
Well, I gotta feel bad for him because of all the.
I like Trippie Redd. I know a lot of
yeah.
people like. I know Stuart doesn't like Trippie Redd that much.
I used to
like.
be okay with him, and now I just am totally done. I think his career's over, basically.
Oh
No,
my.
I like Trippie Redd. I think my problem with him that year though is that like I think he was trying too hard to be like Kodak. That's another thing Kodak started from 2016. Kodak started like the sorry blank beat line because I know I can't swear, but the sorry blank beat line.
Yeah.
Then because Trippie like made I remember he made an announcement on Instagram. He was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be doing a freestyle because like Kodak said, I'm not doing this beat or whatever." I'm like, dude, just do a freestyle. What's your problem? Namir's kind of fallen off. He hasn't really been doing anything.
He has like
Yeah.
2 big songs.
Yeah.
I just think
Mhm.
I don't think the class is like super bad. Just when you're stacking up against the other ones we've rated at B.
Yeah.
and
Especially
C,
the more recent ones.
Wait,
It's
John.
just not
17.
that strong.
John, where are you gonna rank it?
Okay, if I'm gonna put my biases aside, I'll put it like a high B because like it has like the thing about it is like okay, I'll like because I know most of the rappers so I can talk about them individually.
Mhm.
I already said like Namir kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Stefflon Don, I haven't really heard from her. Like I know she was on like she was on
No,
X's
she-
last posthumous album and that's
Yeah.
it.
And JID, I don't think he's in Dreamville, but he hasn't really.
He hasn't been doing that much, I don't think.
I liked
He's pretty,
his stuff when
he's
he
pretty
came.
relevant.
Yeah, because of Dreamville, and like I think J. Cole's probably gonna drop an album in the next 6 months. But like
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like his music, but like he just doesn't really like hasn't put anything out in a while.
Yeah,
I'm not-
he's kind of
Yeah.
chilling.
It has been.
But
yeah.
Wi-Fi's Funeral, I think
He was strong when he came out, but I don't know.
no, he just
Who
he-
even?
No, so let me explain to you, Nick. So Wi-Fi, so you know, like, I mean, you probably don't know, but like when X came out, like when he got big, he had this collective or like this group called Members Only,
Members Only, yeah.
which included Ski
Oh
Mask.
yeah, Ski Mask and
Yeah.
all them.
Yeah. So Wi-Fi's Funeral was one of them, and he was pretty
he's part
he
of
had some
Florida
potential.
sound.
I think he honestly just like my opinion, he's good, but he just hasn't made a name for himself yet. I feel like he's just not.
I
that
remember
big.
people definitely knew who he was more at that time, and now he's just kind of faded into obscurity. But like he still has a chance to like capitalize. I
Yeah.
don't think he was on any. Was he on the last Members Only release? Or is
No,
not
he actually no.
on the
He
collective
left Members Only. Like a lot of people in Members Only left actually after
Yeah,
X died, or even before X died actually.
right around that time? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, all right. So where are we ranking this? I have it. At
I was
would
gonna
say
say
I
like
have
a low B.
I have it at
I'd say
C.
B.
All right, we can roll it C. I mean a B.
Wait, what were you gonna say originally, Stuart?
I had it at a high C, just because like I just don't think a lot of
Yeah, I
I
had it
like
at a
Ski
low
Mask,
B.
and Trippy has definitely had a good amount of success.
Oh yeah, and let me just
But,
say
like, it's
so.
not
Can
very yeah.
I say something? Lil Pump and Smoke Perp, bro.
Oh, Little Pumps.
They're like becoming the next designer. I swear to God, bro. I'm sorry, but like, dude, dude, wait. Have you guys been seeing today? Twitter's been like memeing on Smoke Perp because like one of his freestyles from a year ago was coming out where he was rapping over the Moonlight beat, and he I kid you not, he rhymed Fortnite twice, and then for the next 4 rhymes he rhymed Limelight, and then he didn't know what to do, so he started moaning. He was like, Fortnite, playing Fortnite. They put me in the limelight with the limelight, and he starts like moaning. He's like, it was so bad. And then he had like 5K.
Oh my God!
All right, so
like
we'll
the
roll
5K first week.
We'll roll it at a low
I think
B
we're bumping
here.
it down to like a low B now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
All right,
All right.
2018. All right, now the 2019 class.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I
Okay.
have the magazine for the 2019.
Oh, yeah. You
I
wanna
bought
read
it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
so, yeah. I'll read it. We have Blueface,
Sure.
Comethazine, Tierra Whack, DaBaby, Lil Mosey, Roddy Ricch, YBN Corday, YK Osiris, Rico Nasty, Gunna, and Megan Thee Stallion. So I'll talk about this one a little bit because I have the issue and they're pretty, yeah. This is like a decent class for me, honestly. Like, okay, I'll start in order. We have Blueface. Blueface fell off already.
Yeah.
You know, he had like one poppin' song. It wasn't even that good.
I mean, Famous Crib as an album was really good. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know that much. I can't argue. I don't know that much about it.
Me neither.
But
I'm just a general fan of West Coast rap.
yeah, no, yeah, respectable.
Yeehaw!
Thanks, Nick.
But Comethazine,
I have so
I
much
feel
to
like
add.
he's
Tobias loves him.
yeah, Tobias loves Comethazine. But
Oh my God.
I don't know about his music that well, but I actually really liked his cipher at this one. I don't know if John, have you seen it?
yeah, no. I think he did pretty good. I think
where he had he raps slowly, but his flow was just like dark and eerie. It was really excellent.
He's like a really cool. He's cool. I like him. He's just. I think the thing about it is like if we're gonna talk about like longevity, he hasn't been that relevant in the last few months. But you know, there's always room for.
Yeah, you still got some time. I think just saying the actually is one of the only ones where I think the cipher was stronger than the actual class. Like even Blueface is pretty good. I don't think he's that good of like a freestyler, but like the entire class apart from Little Mosey, who was just like it's a whack ass beat. Yeah, it didn't really go so.
Lil Mosey said.
He said, a whack ass beat.
God damn, I feel like the man. Freshman of the year, I woke up like the man.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
but especially compared than that.
Was Rico Nasty in that cipher?
Yeah, Rico Nasty.
Her verse is like one of the best. I don't know if
Rico Nasty is one of the best female rappers really just out there.
And I actually don't mind Megan Thee Stallion. Like I don't think she's that bad.
Yeah, no, she's good. She's good.
Yeah.
I wasn't hating on Blueface either. I just feel like he's just fallen off so bad. Like I don't think he's that good.
Rip Blueface.
I love Corday.
Corday's great.
Oh my God.
He's excellent, especially on this cipher.
Chips. Oh my God. And then R&P with Pac.
Dude, the same thing I said about.
He carries the whole collective.
Yeah.
The same thing I said about Joey Badass. He's like a young classic. You know what I mean? He's like a modern classic.
Yeah.
Gunna. I don't like Gunna that much. I know he's popular. I don't like him that much. He's okay, I guess.
He's very popular. And so is DaBaby.
He also refused to do a freestyle.
Yeah. And DaBaby was on there.
DaBaby. No,
I don't mind his music, but he did pretty good on the freestyle. I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think DaBaby's pretty okay.
Yeah. I think it's a very strong class, to be honest. I have it in almost an S tier. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. In terms of what I listen to. In terms of what I listen to.
Also, I just love the cipher, so that's probably part of it.
Yeah, no, the ciphers are great.
I think it's the second best cipher. I think it's the second best cipher ever.
Yeah, behind
DJ Scheme, who was like DJ Scheme did really good. With all the beats and everything.
Yeah. Well, apart from Lil Mosey's opinion, but yeah.
Oh my God.
No. But and YK Osiris. YK Osiris is a really good singer. So I think he's pretty okay. Roddy Ricch, of course, you know.
Yeah, he's been great. Yeah, see, it's a strong class, especially for sales. I mean,
yeah, for sales, I say okay. I say it was like a pretty decent class in terms of like what I listened to, but in terms of like general, like I think it's a good class.
Yeah, I think it's definitely at least an A tier.
Yeah. I would say if it's an A, I would have to put it below 2010 though.
I wouldn't. I'd put it as an S honestly, but I think we can roll it at A unless anybody else wants to go for S.
It's not S. It's like
what
a high
have
A
it
for me.
We only have 16 in
But
S, though.
above
Yeah, we have 16
above
for S.
2010 though.
I
No,
would
we have
say-
2011
Yes,
in
I
S
think it's
too.
above 2010.
I
It
don't
is the
think it's
highest A if
I
it's
think-
an A.
But I don't think it's higher than 11 though. So I think
No.
high
Okay,
A
so
is
the
good.
lowest S,
Or the highest A. either
The
way
highest
works.
A. I'd say
Yeah.
highest A.
highest A.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
can't, a lot of these dudes' careers have been doing good, but I'm sure a couple of them that we're talking about will take a
I
turn.
think
in the
I
next
think
4 years.
Tierrawak is the
Yeah,
only one who I
true.
haven't heard from at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so let me just read it down really fast. So the S tier, I'll go from highest rank to the lowest rank. In S tier, we have 2016 and 2011. In A tier, we have 2010, 2019, and 2017. In B tier, we have 2013, 2012, and 2018. C tier, we have 2014. And very low D tier, we have 2015.
Yeah.
All right,
pretty
so
solid.
What
I think that's
happened?
pretty.
That was also a small class, I think, right?
Yeah,
15?
15 only has like 8 or 9 people.
Yeah. So I know people have rejected doing XXL in the past.
Yeah, a couple
Did
people
somebody
have.
relevant
Actually,
like
I don't think so then. I
Yeah,
know
no, I think Juice WRLD declined it.
rejected it. Rich
But
the
was that
Kid,
that
I remember
year?
him as well. No, it definitely wasn't.
I was gonna say
Wasn't
yeah.
him then.
I know Drake's declined XXL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, Drake.
Who else? A couple
Rich
other
the Kid.
people.
Rich the Kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
declined
Rich
it.
the Kid.
Yeah.
But I really wonder if there was. Because 8, and then the next year or the year before was 12.
Yeah, so it must
So
have been
how-
an issue.
Somebody relevant must have rejected that because that's such a
Yeah.
weak class.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just even the ones that we rank lower, it's still like at least a step down. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, but let's.
All right, yeah.
What do we
So I
got?
think we have a pretty solid list, but next we'll move on to our next list. But before we do so, I forgot to do this at the top of the episode, but make sure go follow our new Instagram at nosebleeds__podcast. It's going to be a page where we post a bunch of Nosebleeds content. We posted memes there. Chandler just
Really
started
funny.
his 12 days of NBA thing.
Stuart made fun of me.
Stuart,
Yeah.
I was just trying to make a
together.
comparison.
I edited
defended
that
you.
together. So.
I compared John to Taco Fall.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
not a bad
my bad.
comparison.
My bad.
It's all good.
Sorry.
It's all good. But Nick, it's your fault for saying Taco Fall was going to be a good defender for Giannis.
Yeah, it was.
If you hadn't
well,
brought that,
No,
John
you
wouldn't
know
have
what I
come
did
into the
about
If you
that?
said
podcast.
that-
if
Nick,
you hadn't
Nick, you're the
said that.
instigator.
Look,
Nick, you're the
I thought-
instigator for my
I
downfall.
thought it was more stupid before I watched back the clip because the fact of the amount of times that you guys talked about how height was so important was just stupid to me. At one point you said verticality, and then I put up the text of
Nick.
verticality, and then a
Nick,
picture of
yeah,
Taco
that's-
just
that's-
You
texted
didn't make the
me.
that's a reference
comparison
to Game of
again.
Thrones.
Just because
Nick.
someone
Game of
is
Thrones
tall,
reference.
just because somebody is tall, does not mean that they can
Nick.
defend someone who's
Nick.
shorter than them.
Nick,
Roy
Nick,
Hibbert.
Nick,
Vertical.
And I
Nick.
had that idea since the
Nick.
Raptors prediction. I had that in my head. I didn't just think of it.
Nick,
All right.
Nick. Before we move
Yeah.
on, Nick, I know it was you who gave him that picture.
I
Whoever edits
took
this.
the picture of you.
Yeah.
I just like
Yeah,
how
I
it's
took
just
that.
like
I
I
took
hate
that.
that. I
I
hate
took
that
that in the
because-
main lobby.
My,
of the high school.
my face was like.
you're like
I remember that. I remember that day.
because I was like
Yeah, I
I was like
remember
just
too.
imagine John, and then it's just
Yeah.
it's just like this low res picture where you're just like
That was so.
Yeah,
funny.
we went to Stuart's that
That
day.
was the only picture I
Yeah.
had of John.
oh my
This
God.
was
That's
the
over.
football that got thrown
And plus, it
out
was a
of
funny picture.
frustration at Nick's
Oh my
lack
God,
of
that was
basketball
funny.
knowledge.
That was funny. All right,
All right,
let's move on
let's
to
move
the
on.
next list now. Let's move on to the next list. Next,
All
we're
right.
going to be ranking Kanye West's albums. This is
Ooh,
a topic
I
that I
love
know
this.
everyone
All right.
John
loves.
is very excited.
I'm
Yeah,
very.
John-
I'm excited too. I love talking
John's
about
very
music.
excited. Yeah, I love this. All right, so
I was
say we
excited for
start-
Double XL too, but I'm excited for this.
I say we start with his most, like his first album.
Yeah, I think we should.
Like,
Yeah,
he
no.
decides like his
the way
mixtapes or whatever.
the way I think we should do it, Nick, and you can always beg to differ. I think we should just do his anything you can find on like Spotify or music. Nothing like his old mixtapes. You probably haven't even heard those.
Sure.
But like
yeah.
No.
We'll
Yeah,
just roll with the
I have,
studio
like,
albums. We'll just roll the
College
studio albums.
Dropout to Jesus is King, and then like Watch the Throne, Cruel Summer, Kids See Ghost.
I have those
Yeah.
in there. Yeah,
I
have all
didn't put
those
Watch
in
the Throne in there. But
there. I
we
had
can
Watch
just-
the Throne in there. We can
Okay.
rank it. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's just start. We'll start a College Dropout.
right.
Who wants to kick it off?
I could start, even though this is John's thing.
Go for it.
No,
Sure.
yeah, that's you can.
So I actually had this one in S tier. I mean, he's got a lot of albums, so every tier is going to have ones. It's my second favorite Kanye album. Super strong debut, one of the strongest debuts in hip hop. I remember
sure.
watching on Hip Hop Evolution about how he started as a producer for Jay-Z, and then he would always
Yeah.
rap around Jay-Z all the time and like try to get his attention with his skills. He never did. But the big thing about Kanye was that he proved that rap producers could also make their own music and produce them at just a high level at anybody else. And, the story, and John probably knows it a little better than I do, but he was really in a rush, I think, to record the album, or he wanted to record it and he got into an accident and he had to put some of it with his jaw.
What it was from what I heard,
wire.
he was driving, I think, to the studio. He's driving either to or from the studio to home. And he literally said, like,
Hi, Mona.
this might be like a wrong, like incorrect information, but from what I heard, he just got kind of tired at the wheel and then like was driving. He was still asleep.
Yeah, I think that's right, because like he had worked so hard on it that he was like dozing off while he was driving.
And the next thing he knew, he was in an accident, so he recorded Through the Wire, and that was, I believe, the first rap song that he that he put out.
Yeah,
with his mouth wired shut.
Yeah, sure. John can make the same points, but just from front to back, really excellent. Good display of production and also his own personal rap style. Future thinking, like with the amount of like samples and stuff, which would really become a huge part of hip hop in the next couple decades. It's really one of his best, and it's on my top 100 albums ever. I think it had like 80, but it's an excellent hip hop album. Yeah,
I honestly also say it's an S. I know, like, with you guys, I don't talk about the early ones as much, but I still love them. Like, I think it's just so, like, first of all, like Stuart said, an amazing debut.
I don't know if there's many stronger.
I feel like he did so much too. Like, he had like songs like, well, he had Through the Wire, which was again with his mouth wired shut. He had All Falls Down. He had songs like that, like Spaceship. But then look. I'll get into this aspect later, but like the way he implemented, the way he implemented.
That's my favorite. That song
religion,
is just iconic.
The way he implemented religion into a song like that, and like I feel like he broke so many boundaries too. Because like another thing that like I feel like he really proved was like I feel like at the time, and like this is just something I feel like I've heard and I kind of agree with. At the time, there weren't a lot of rappers who came out of like kind of okay backgrounds. Like Kanye was never like poor or anything. He had a
definitely the street aspect of hip-hop
childhood.
was super prevalent.
He's never been like a fake gangster or anything. He's always been honest about like where he comes from, and that's what's cool about him.
He's one of the earlier examples of like hip-hop coming from an area of higher art level. Because usually, like you think, especially in the '90s, gangster rap and like coming from the streets, like Illmatic is like painting a picture of like urban New York City and stuff like that, like in 1994. But like Kanye's like, I can make a hip hop album that's like, from the same like musical level as like an alternative album or something like that. It could be just as good as, if not better, even if it isn't, doesn't have these themes of, violence and not saying those are necessarily bad, but like themes of like, gangsters and stuff like that. Like, instead he was talking about, like religion, like Nick was saying.
Yeah, and I think just a quick point about the Jesus Walks song. I feel like Jesus Walks was more what's the word? I just had it. More genuine than any of the songs in Jesus is King. Like even though
for sure,
like in Jesus is King, like that was just kind of a thing. Like I mean, he just showed his faith and stuff way more in Jesus Walks, and it just seemed so much more real and genuine than Jesus is King. Jesus is King just seemed kind of fake.
It's not. I think the word you're looking for is like he's not forced. He's not forcing.
No. Well, okay. Here's the thing about it though, and like I'll talk about this more later when we actually get to Jesus is King. But like I agree. I totally agree. I feel like it was more genuine because the thing is, so like us like like more hardcore Kanye fans. We were really looking forward to Yandhi back in like 2019 and 2018. And then so I'd heard those leaks before. And the way, like, I knew that they were transferred into Jesus is King, like, basically, like, they were just, like, every lyric was just replaced with, like, oh, Jesus brings us faith, Jesus whatever. So, like...
That's just stupid.
It felt like what he did was he changed his mind about an album, and then he realized he needed to release it soon. So he just like, okay, let me just quickly rap over this. And then... So, I mean,
like, some of the songs in Jesus is King are good. We'll get to more Jesus is King later.
For sure. I don't, like, hate Jesus is King or anything. I just feel like... Especially because I was looking forward to Yandhi so much, and now I see like, I don't think religious music is a bad thing at all, and I think gospel music is pretty beautiful. I just feel like the way he did it, especially so forced and so like it seemed rushed, it wasn't for me,
Yeah.
But Jesus is King is very like genuine. It's very like you hear it in his voice. You know what I mean? The way he raps.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's move on to.
I would say put it at S tier.
S tier, yeah,
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
His next song.
Go with it.
Yeah. Next album we have Late Registration. I gotta say this is an S tier. Honestly, I gotta put it above.
I have
College
it.
Dropout,
I have
though.
it at A just because I have a couple of their albums higher, and I couldn't like put them all in S. I do think it's an excellent album. I just don't think it's
Yeah.
quite as good as a couple of his other ones.
Yeah.
And it's not I think it's the worst. Slightly spoiler, but the worst of the early Bear series.
3, yeah.
It's still fine though. It
Whoa.
has some very strong singles. Still a fine record. Not quite as good as its predecessor, but similar in style. You know, it's a good record.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it's an A. My own opinion, I think I listened to Late Registration more than College Dropout.
Mhm.
What I think is better, though, I think College Dropout is a little better.
Just because it's
So,
the first one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you know, and also I think like the only thing about it was like I think with like the early 2 albums, like I wasn't in love with the skits, but I get like they're cool.
Yeah.
But
I think that's really cool.
yeah,
They're very early 2000s.
Yeah,
But,
it's the
like,
kind of
but-
thing you
and
see on a
there's-
lot of those.
but
Yeah,
there's
pop
some
albums.
really heartfelt songs in Late Registration, like "Hey Mama," "Roses," like and then like and then you really get a sense like it's really you're experiencing it like through his eyes, like College Dropout. He's not that successful yet, but in this one, he's talking like like "Touch the Sky" and like
Yeah,
you
that's one
know.
of his best songs.
yeah, and "Gold Digger" obviously like is one
Oh,
of
yeah.
his most iconic
famous,
ones
yeah.
ever.
I'm sorry, Stronger is on College Dropout.
Graduation.
Oh, it's on Graduation. Okay.
Graduation.
All right. Yeah, Nick, how do you
I would say, I mean, just because Late Registration was the first Kanye album I ever listened to, it's kind of the OG for me.
like the introduction?
That's why I
Yeah.
have it a little bit above College Dropout. But when I look at it from like a realistic point of view, I would say, although Late Registration is really, really good, I would say that College Dropout is a little bit better. So maybe if we put Late Registration at like a high A and then maybe College Dropout at a low S, I could roll for that. But I don't see it being that much above what Late Registration is. I mean, I could agree that College Dropout is better, but
Yeah, it just comes down to personal preference mostly.
Yeah, obviously, and like
It's just like if we're just gonna rank, like if we agree
They're
that they're
interchangeable.
about the same level, but we College Dropout's first, so it kind of gets that edge. Just
Yeah.
when it comes to like objective ranking.
mhm.
I haven't disagreed with anything yet, so I'll say something when I disagree.
All right, cool.
yeah. So do we want to throw Late Registration at a high A?
I'm cool.
High
Yeah,
A.
yeah.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right. And next, the last in the Bears series, we have Graduation. Who wants to kick this one off?
I'll start this one off. So I really love Graduation. I mean, I feel like definitely it's the most iconic out of the 3 Bear albums
Most well known
because of
for sure.
songs like we have like Stronger, we have Homecoming, we have like we have all these songs, and they're all Kanye really delivered with what he wanted. I know he wanted to make them he wanted to make the entire album something that you could play like for stadiums, and that he definitely delivered.
Yeah.
It's very like I think this is like, and just the way he produced for songs like Good Life with like I bet like most people didn't even know that like for Good Life he sampled PYT.
I didn't
or
know
like-
that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not that crazy.
And
Well, yeah, but I mean, I never knew that. That's what I'm saying.
yeah. No. Yeah. I get it. But and just the
I couldn't even
oh my
tell.
god, the just everything about it honestly, and Big
It's
Brother Big Brother is such a beautiful song.
The whole idea, not just with this album, but the fact that he was able to make the level, and not have a sophomore or a junior slump with his first 3 records, and kind of keep the same style, but it's also fresh with the times, and like you don't feel like you're listening to the same tracks when you listen to these first 3 records, and there's enough difference. And I think this one, you see a little bit of the growth with him, like John was saying, like a little bit more of the like the personal side instead of just like because like a lot of I think especially on the College Dropout is like his like desire to make it, and now he's made it, so now he's talking about
This
how
is like
he feels
rockstar
about things.
Kanye.
Yeah, exactly. Even more so than Late Registration. And I just think pretty excellent. I have it also at high A just because I have a couple other records higher. But
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit. It is better than Late Registration, and not.
Me too.
I do prefer College Dropout, but I think that this one is like at the same level. Like if we rated it S, I wouldn't be upset.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I just personally like listening to College Dropout because I just love his energy on that record the most of the 3. But like I can see how you would
No,
rank
yeah,
that
I
one
can
the
see
highest.
that. The thing that I don't see, though, personally for me, I have Graduation being the lowest of the three Bear albums.
Okay. So
I mean,
I mean,
obviously,
that's
they're all
a
so
very
close.
popular opinion,
They're all
believe
so
it or not.
would you? Yeah, I know that is. Yeah, because some people have said
like
that
Max
it's a little
feels
bit.
the same way.
It's a little bit like overrated or a little bit like over. Like
It definitely.
like,
I'll say this.
It's just-
It definitely hasn't aged as well as people think it has.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say
I
that.
agree
It's
with
definitely. It's very. I'm not gonna say it's very 2007, but it definitely. It hasn't like.
But it
like,
is very 2007.
it isn't like some of his other records that have transcended.
No,
the
it's
time
not even
they
like.
were released.
Yeah, no. Like some. I feel like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which we'll get to. I feel like, is very timeless. You know.
Yeah.
And a couple other records that we'll get to.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously, I love all of these albums, pretty much all of them. But, like, I just feel like Graduation is the worst out of the three. I would say that it's in an A tier, but I wouldn't put it at S.
All right, so we can roll it today, I think.
I'll say a
Would you
high
say-
A, better than Late Registration by a little bit. Just like
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
the way College Dropout is a little bit better than that. You know, they're all good.
Chandler, would
Yeah.
you say it's higher or lower than Late Registration? Just to
Slightly
set it
lower.
up.
I'm with you on that one.
Lower.
All right, so we can
Ooh,
just
okay.
roll. We can just roll it in a day then. It's all right.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we
It's a high
can
A.
debate that later.
We're
They're all,
splitting
they're
hairs.
all high A's, low S's.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All
John's
right,
favorite
next
album
we
of all
have
time is next.
John's
All right.
favorite album.
No, wait. Hold on. Let me
Give
bust
him
this
his,
out.
give him
Listen.
his 15 minutes of fame.
Give me my
Yeah,
15
we have
minutes.
808s and Heartbreak. Is the
All right,
next
because I'm
one.
gonna say my own opinion on it. I don't know if John's
Me
ever heard
too.
my actual opinion on this record, but
I'm sure you don't like
Well,
it.
John's
but,
heard mine, but
yeah.
What
we'll
even
get
is
to it.
yours?
We'll get to it. We'll
Oh,
get
no,
to it.
yeah,
I
we'll
want
get to it.
I want to
So,
hear John's soliloquy
listen.
here.
So
It's like-
I collect vinyls. You guys know that.
It's vinyl. Singular is plural. It's not vinyls.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Also,
But,
you can just say records. That works.
Oh.
Anyway, but you know, like they are pretty pricey, so I try not to spend all my money that I earn off of
Well, that's what I
records.
do.
Well, thanks.
wow.
I'm a little bit more than you, but it's all good.
Listen. All right. Anyway, I bought 808s on vinyl. I love it. I really love it. It's very.
Is it a double? Do you have two? There are two discs?
Yeah.
For that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
two
there's three.
double-sided discs.
So they have three on.
And there's a
each on
poster.
each. Oh, nice. It's a pretty nice package.
Oh, that is a nice poster.
Yeah, it's double-sided. The other side is with Kanye and his mom, but I don't want to put that up.
It seems a little
Oh.
sad. Yeah, but obviously,
Sad.
808s comes after the death of his mother.
And
Yeah. And his
it-
divorce.
and the end of his
Well,
engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
John, why don't you kick it off?
I'll kick it off. You know, this is my favorite. Okay. I'll give you like my personal feeling, but then I'll give you like my unbiased opinions because like
Mhm.
they're actually they contrast a little bit.
Mhm.
So personally, this album is really special to me. It's definitely first of all, like it's the first memory of hip hop that I know that I can remember because I remember specifically like my first memory hearing it like in the car with my mom and my older brother listening to Heartless and like and for some reason like it just really it always stuck with me. I always liked it. And then even though I wasn't super into rap in my early childhood, I always thought that was a good song. And then as I got older and I started getting more into hip hop, you know, I started getting into more artists like Kanye and stuff. So, and when I heard this album, because this is the first Kanye album I'll say that I genuinely felt like a
Connection.
connection to that like
Spiritual
that I
connection.
could like be like, okay, this is like one of my more favorite albums, you know.
This is a different
just-
experience.
It's a different experience, honestly. And just and like even now, like it's so like great and like hard hitting, you know, for me.
Mhm.
So I really love it. It's one of my favorite albums. My unbiased opinions, I don't think it's his best at all. Not at all. Definitely I think there's one song that's definitely aged horrendously. See You in My Nightmares, I think is aged horribly. Like that song sounds like it's from like 2007 and this is a 2008 album.
Oh
Like-
Well,
But everything else, like songs like Bad News are really great. That song's about like, you know, when he found out that he'd been cheated on. These are all like true stories. Like he wrote this all this by himself, like completely alone. Because you know it's all from his heart. Coldest Winter is an amazing outro. You know, dedicated
yeah, I
to
do
his
like that
mom.
song.
Say You Will is a pretty cool intro. I like you know.
Mhm.
I think some people are kind of iffy with the 2-minute outro where it's the same beat, but I think it's kind of cool. I like the beat a lot. Heartless is one of the most iconic Kanye songs ever, so you know we don't have to talk
I
about
like that
that
song
one.
too.
Love Lockdown
I
also
also
is
like
pretty.
Paranoid. Nobody likes Paranoid, but I kind of
No,
like
I
it.
like Paranoid.
I don't
like
think I
Paranoid.
recognize it enough to have an opinion.
Yeah.
Love Lockdown is probably the most well known from
Yeah,
the
that
album,
one's good too.
That and Heartless, yeah.
All right, can I?
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
okay, so I'm gonna say as an album, like by itself, and also we should also mention influence.
Yeah,
This is one of the most impactful hip hop albums of all time, and there's no dispute about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I'll let you.
Yeah. So like.
Well, wait, John, say your ranking first. Sorry, Stuart.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I'll say it's a low A to a high B because like even though it's my favorite album, like my favorite album, objectively it's not his best, and he's definitely done way better. But also the impact is just so great that I can't say it's. I just can't. Even to say it's a high B, it's hard for me, honestly.
That's fair.
So I'll say it's like a low A to high B. That's what I'll say.
All right.
So what I admire the most about this record is what John was touching on is the influence. Like, I think from Drake to like just like the entire hip hop scene, like from about 2010, Travis, just like the entire idea of having, because a lot of the hip hop around 2007, 2008, you know, Soulja Boy and that kind of like generation is like really like, you know, rhythm based and like just like rap freestyle based, like T-Pain was popular at this time. But once you got into Drake in the early 2000s, it became more emotional, became more Tony. Like you can even say if you show Drake to people who were listening to hip hop in 2005, they'd be like, he's not a rapper, he's an R&B singer.
Yeah,
I think that's a
exactly.
lot of what you could say. This is a hip hop album, but it's also like an R&B album. And what I admire definitely the most is how much he was able to influence the sound of hip hop. He'd already been doing that earlier on, but this is definitely, and I've always liked it when artists take risks, even if they turn out good or bad. And this is obviously a big risk. I mean, it's something that I'm sure he felt he had to do after his mother's death, but it was, you know, it's definitely a big risk to move from that very successful style and critically acclaimed style that he had, you know, on his first.
He was gonna make a sequel to Graduation, and he canned it
because of his mother's death.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say like my actual personal feelings and like objective feelings on the record is just that he does, like John was saying, he does have records that are considerably better, and I personally just don't have like a very high affinity for the style, just because when I listen to emotional music, often it isn't hip hop. That's definitely a personal thing, but I just don't get the same feeling that some people do when they listen to this record. That being said, I can understand the emotions he's putting into it, but I don't have that same reaction. I don't think it's bad. I think he, you know, the songmanship is good and everything, but I just think he is better. Most, you know.
Where would you put it?
I think it's definitely, I have it at a B tier, but I think it's definitely like impact wise, it might be his strongest, honestly, but you know, it's not bad, but I just think he is better. But I can see like it might be the most talked about Kanye album just because of like, it's polarizing because like people have very different opinions on it.
That's very true. Some people like John love it, but
some Kanye fans think it's like his worst, and others think it's his best. So
exactly.
Yeah, I know. I would agree more with Stuart and put it at like a mid B tier, somewhere around there. But like you guys have said, the impact that this album has had on rappers ahead of him has been so huge and has changed the landscape of what people perceive to be called rap now. That, like, you know, it's not just like the freestyle to a beat. It's more like, you know, it introduced
the melody like none other before into hip hop.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if anybody was to do it, it has to be him. Had to have been him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
All of his albums really sound different.
Yeah. And I also appreciate how, like you were saying, how different this album was from his three previous. It just took a total shift from what his past. I mean, Graduation was kind of similar to it, but then
because they do
just a total shift from Late Registration and College Dropout just to a more techno type theme. Like when I listen to some of these songs, it reminds me of my childhood just because of the type of music that was played around that time, like that techno kind of R&B type feel.
I'd argue that it's a little 80s-esque. I don't know. I get kind of 80s.
Yeah, it does have that kind of like robotic new wave kind of feeling. I think he definitely has that kind of inspiration a little bit.
For sure. Like he cited that like Michael Jackson of all people was one of his biggest inspirations for this. And like also like fun fact about this album. Actually, this is, I guess now it's 1 out of 2 albums from him that he's never sworn on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but the reason I like this one better, like I'm fine with it on this one though. as opposed to Jesus is King, because on Jesus is King, it's
I
like
just feel
super
like
forced.
he had just like you were saying, kind of with like Jesus Walks. Like it's just like he didn't want to make something. He felt that he didn't need to curse to get his point across about his feelings.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
wanted to be respectful to the listener, and this is how he wanted to do it. Instead of just being like, Jesus wants me to do this, so I'm just not going to curse like I usually do.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I totally
In the
So
same
we're-
way that Nick agrees with Stuart, I agree with John more on this, and I think that definitely comes down to what we personally like in rap. Like, I definitely like that more emotional rap, and Stuart said that's not generally what he looks for.
Right.
But
Yeah, I
that's
love
something
it.
that I really enjoy. Like, I can just sit down, unwind to someone just like saying their feelings over a really nice beat, and I think that this album does that really well. So having said that, I think everybody here is kind of putting it in the like the B plus range. I agree with that. I'd put it more
I'll
towards
say
the
B plus.
there. Yeah.
All right, we'll throw it in at B.
I could throw it at a B plus. I could argue that. So yeah, I think B plus is fair. 808's a B plus. All right, and then our next album on the list, we have My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. One of
This was my first Kanye album.
One of the most famous albums ever.
of all time.
Most popular
Yes,
hip-hop
literally.
albums. Not even just rap records.
Yeah, not even.
Really was
Do
huge.
you want me to open or?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go for it.
All right,
Yeah.
sure. So I had this one at a high B. I mean, a high A. My bad.
Oh my god.
Just because, again, I have a couple albums that I personally prefer over it. However, me and John have talked about this before, that we do think it's a little overrated. However, objectively, it is one of his best and one of the best hip-hop records of all time.
Yeah.
It's a really nice blend of, like, his earlier style with, like, the more, like, lyrically based, fast-paced, just, like, straight-up rap, along with the more emotional side he had shown in the previous record. Production, I think, is pretty nice on this one, just generally speaking, and also lots of hit singles and stuff. Huge impact. It didn't have the same like level of influence, I guess I'd say, as the previous one, but just generally speaking, it's like a very, very strong record.
Yeah.
I would Oh, you want to go?
No,
John?
you go ahead, Nick. You go ahead.
Okay. I would agree with Stuart in saying that, I mean, obviously, a couple of months ago, this used to be my favorite Kanye album. Up until quarantine rolled around and I started listening back to all his albums more, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But obviously, I still think it's one of the best out there. But I do agree that it is kind of overrated for what it is. Like, people say it's like the perfect album. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not. There are some songs in there that I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
skip.
I think it's the first Kanye album where I feel like it does have a little bit of filler. Like he was like, I need to complete this this LP. I need to, get this to the length. And that doesn't, that does take away slightly from the quality. I feel like on almost every other record he has, apart from another one that I had the same feelings about. But,
I think we're thinking of the same one.
that he just like wanted to complete the record. Not necessarily like I don't think any of the songs are bad, but like some of them aren't up to the same quality as the rest of the record. Because some of the best ones on this album are very good, but
And I mean the features on this album
features
are
are
just
probably
crazy.
probably
good.
the
Very
strongest in his
feature-packed.
career.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
Just to start off with like the good things, because like you said, you and me have talked about, like I think it's definitely overrated, especially in the Kanye fan base. If you tell like a hardcore Kanye fan that you think it's overrated, they'll be like, what?
Yeah.
Like what I'm saying is like let's start with positives. So like I think it has one of the best Kanye intros. I think. Can we get?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Dark Fantasy.
That's beautiful.
So good.
That's beautiful.
The whole concept
and then,
is pretty nice too.
It is. It's great. And
The idea that it's just his masterpiece.
and honestly, I think this is the best album, like the album where he's rapping, or maybe the second best album where he's rapping, like where he's spitting, especially on songs like "Gorgeous" and on like
second or third.
like he shows off his most lyrical ability. I'll say that's what I mean.
Yeah, he's just like I'm just gonna make it a rap album.
And the production value on songs like "Devil in a New Dress" are just crazy.
Oh, and Power too.
I mean,
I
you get
I
that.
have Power.
Power too.
I have the Power single on record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of his best.
John's just carrying with the vinyl stuff.
I'm just
Or
carrying,
vinyl.
and like I'm not even done
Vinyl.
too.
I said
I'm not
that.
even done too.
All right.
All right,
Chandler,
Chandler, what do
any
you think?
Separate thoughts on it?
Yeah, this was, like I said, this was my first ever Kanye album. I came to it a little bit differently than most people probably did. 2K13 had all the lights.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I was like,
I
whoa.
think it was 14.
Maybe it was I only have 13 and 14. It's one of those.
I think it was 14, but yeah.
Oh, it was 14 because Jay-Z was the music
The curator, yeah.
the curator. But yeah, if I were not able to take away my bias, I would definitely put this into S tier just for the nostalgic value that it has for me. But I am. So I am going to put it pretty comfortably at an A. Probably closer to a B than to an S, but not by much. So yeah, I'd put it at a solid A.
So
There's so many good singles on it, but like Stuart said, it's real highs and lows.
Yeah, it does have.
Where would you guys rank it in the A tier, though? I would say it's the highest out of all the ones.
So what do we have
so far.
otherwise? In
So yeah,
the
what did
We
the
have
other
late
18?
registration and graduation.
I'll say it's higher than both of those.
Yeah, I would agree
Me
with
too.
that. I think it's a little higher.
Why
I
do you
think it's
think
just a
it's
little. I
lower?
wouldn't. Yeah, because now that we're thinking, yeah, I definitely wouldn't put it above.
I'd say it's
Um,
almost an S, but like I think
I wouldn't
it is
put it
overrated.
above College Dropout.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
for
me
sure.
neither.
So it's definitely not an. I don't think it's an S.
No.
But it's a good. I think it's good in an A.
Do we agree, though, it's better than the other ones
Yes.
in the A tier?
Sure.
Yeah, that works for me.
It's so close that I
Okay.
can't really make a definitive argument to say no.
Yeah.
Chandler, if it was just your choice, where would you rank it?
Oh, I'd probably put it right behind late registration, and then
That's fair.
right in front of graduation. But
That's fair.
yeah, it's so close.
Mm-hmm. Though, yeah, late registration and Dark Twisted Fantasy are close in my book as well.
Yeah.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Cruel Summer the next
Yeah,
one?
that's
Watch the
2012.
Watch the Throne.
Or is it Watch the Throne?
Isn't this like a half Jay-Z album though?
It
So
is.
it's a collab. Yeah. No, we're counting collab
It's a
albums.
collab
Lost in
with
the Kitsy
Jay-Z.
Ghost.
I'm not very familiar with it at all.
It,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
it
I
has
can-
it has Otis and
I'll pick it up. I'll pick it
in
up for that one.
Paris.
Or is it
Yeah,
71?
Paris song.
Blanks in
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah,
People
Blanks
in
in
Paris.
Paris.
Yes, the
How about
the
you just
song.
try to do these ones like, which one do you think is better out of those two? I do know A Cruel Summer a little bit just because like it's more of him on it than it is of Jay-Z. But
No,
How
I
about
think,
we
I
just
think
go
actually,
like really
I-
quick through these two because none of us are that
Yeah.
familiar with them except for John.
I'll do the next two if that's cool with you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
where
for it.
would you
Just
put
fly
them?
through them.
So Watch the Throne, I think it's one of the best hip hop collab albums I've ever heard.
Mhm.
I think both Kanye and Jay-Z, they're both really neck and neck, and they both really add something special to it. And I think it's just the thing about it. I think it should have been shorter. That's my problem with it, because it has some
Long.
high highs and some like low lows.
so where would
So,
you put
like,
it? Like C,
I'd
maybe?
put it in like a low A. I'd
Low
say.
A?
No, you
Whoa.
know what? High B.
Maybe. All right.
High B. And then Cruel Summer. Okay, so Cruel Summer, I've probably listened to the least two, but I still know enough about it.
Yeah,
I've listened to all of it.
Most
At
people
least a couple
don't like it
times.
very much.
Yeah, no, it's very, it's not even really an album. It's like more like a compilation with like the Cruel
Yeah.
Summer, collective. But I would say like a mid C because like it has like some good highs and some like bad lows. But like it has like the Don't Like remix, which is really good. I feel like, and it has songs like Cold is a great Kanye song. A lot of people don't know it. But then it has like some low. It's very dated. It's the most dated project. Very dated.
To the year.
It's very 2012.
All right.
It's very 2012. So I'd say it's like a mid C.
All right. Cool. All right.
I mean, just my quick sense on it, I would put it at like a low B.
Really?
You like it like that? I always dislike the cover art.
Like some of the song, it's the one with the statue, right?
Yeah, it's a marble.
Yeah.
I always just like I'm like, what am I looking at when I look at this? Because
I get
most of it is
confused,
a
too,
pretty
but-
cool cover art.
At the same time, though,
Graduation.
I think that some of the songs on there are pretty good.
Okay,
No,
Nick.
yeah, I'm not disagreeing that.
But
I'm
this
not
is
that
Kanye
familiar
we're
with it.
talking
I'm not
about.
that familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Alright,
no.
maybe a high
so
C.
Watch the Throne. I'll say like a good B. Watch the Throne is like, Cruel Summer is like a
See.
mid C.
Yeah. Okay. Still this on there, Nick. All right. So next one's
Okay,
easiest.
all right. Yeah, this is where we're gonna disagree.
I
Pretty
definitely
sure.
am gonna end up. Me and Nick will probably agree against John.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
God.
which one?
Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Jesus is king.
Oh, and might I add, I have and I can't even listen to it, but I have the cassette.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah.
Dang.
My old CRV.
John,
pick with
why
that.
don't you start because you probably have the most interesting opinion on this album.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have the most controversial opinion on it.
Yeah.
So, okay, if we're gonna talk about my own personal opinions and what I like and what I don't like, what I like, okay, I prefer it. Keyword prefer. I don't think it's better necessarily, although I kind of do. I prefer it to Dark Twisted Fantasy, and I know a lot of people would like kill me for that.
Even
But,
Kanye fans would not
okay.
like that.
First of all, the production. I think it has the best production out of all of them. If you can't, I don't think anyone can change my mind on that. It's the best production.
This is gonna be a
So-
huge point of disagreement.
Oh God. I just think it's so cool. It's like it's very like industrial. It's very dark. It's very like it's just it's gross. Like it's sick.
Yeah.
And,
I know what you mean.
Substance-wise, I get like substance-wise, there's like no substance to it, but like that's the point. I feel like I saw a guy talking about it, and I think it's like the perfect analogy of it. Yeezus is like Kanye's bachelor party because this is like it came out like right before he married Kim and had his baby.
It was just like everything that he wanted to say. Just
Yeah,
like
said it.
all
So,
that
like,
stupid stuff.
he had
he
like
had to say.
the
He started out.
eating Asian blank line.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Sweet and sour sauce.
Sweet and sour sauce. Yeah.
So where would you rate it? Like personally.
Also, I'll say personally, objectively.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, personally, it's an easy yes for me. I love it. I listen to it all the time. I love it. I can't help it. I think it's especially songs like Black Skinhead and Bound to and New Slaves and Blood on the Leaves. They're just.
We'll get to that. Okay, Nick.
I hate that song. I'm sorry.
Really?
All right, Nick.
I
All
like
right, we'll
that
get to it.
I like both.
Okay, we'll get to it.
But then your objective feelings probably like a low A.
Yeah, objective feelings, it's a low A because like there's no like genuine. Okay, I mean it's genuine substance, but it's not good genuine substance, and also like it's not like, it could be longer and it's just. But I think it's also like it's an A in the first place for what it is because it's very like. It's very different. Like he talked about he made My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right? The perfect album. He wanted his next one to be
just
imperfect.
make something. Yeah. Okay.
He wanted it to be something crazy, and he delivered. It's very like. I just love the darkness of it. I love the deepest parts of your mind of it. You know what I mean? It's very cool to me.
Nick, do you mind?
I get why people don't like it.
Yeah, sure. You can go next.
Yeah, so we can go next. I just want to finish it off. I get why people don't like it, and like I wouldn't, take like offense to it. Like a lot of people will be like, oh, "You think it's better than like I don't care." It's not.
Most people would think that's blasphemous.
Yeah, it's your opinion.
Yeah, so I get why people don't like it, but I can't help it. I like it. Stuart.
All right. Okay, so my thoughts are generally different. I do like the analogy that you made that it's like just everything he doesn't want to say, like everything that he felt like he couldn't say at first and now he wants to say, like,
yeah,
that's definitely something about Kanye is he doesn't, he's very like the most outspoken person ever. Like he just doesn't care what people think of him and for the most part. And that's definitely something that you can admire and also kind of criticize. But I think there are a couple, Black Skinhead is a good song. It has a couple good tracks, but the thing that I disagree the most with is the production. I find it quite bland and a little bit bloated in comparison to like almost everything else he had produced. It's a little bit hard on the ears. Me and Nick agree. We both don't really like the Blood on the Leaves track very much. I don't mind Kanye. I actually don't mind his use of autotune on 808s because I just feel like that's something he felt like he had to do. I don't like it on this song like at all. I just think he sounds like a robot. Generally speaking, like there isn't a lot of substance, and hip hop's probably my second favorite genre of music. But generally, I like hip hop records that have meaning and thought behind them. And I'm not saying this doesn't have meaning and thought, but it's just like not something that I'm particularly fond of. What he's saying.
Not something you relate to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would say I agree with Stuart in the fact that I think I'm a little bit higher on this album than Stuart is, just because there are some songs on here that I really like you said, Black Skinhead I really like, Bound to I really like, New Slaves is pretty good.
Yeah.
But like the lows on here, I feel like the production is pretty good just because it's interesting. Like John has said this to me before that it's just a totally different album production wise. Like it's just stuff that you've never really heard before. But I feel like the lyrics on here sometimes are just stupid. Like some songs they're just flat out dumb.
Nick, I know you're thinking about the Asian.
Yeah, that
the Asian blank line.
So where would I didn't even say where I rate it. Nick, where would you put it? I have it.
I would put it like a B.
I have it in B. I have it low
I'd put
B.
it like a mid B.
I don't think it's terrible, but
I would probably put it a high B, just because I like Blood on the Leaves. I understand why you guys don't like it, but
I don't like the auto-tune. I'm not a huge fan of production. I think it's a little bit
okay, the sample, Nick. I can't agree with the sample.
I think it's a little.
Why?
I'm indifferent to the sample. I'm indifferent.
You know what the sample is, Nick?
I know what it sounds like.
Strange Fruit?
Yeah.
Just because it is something doesn't mean it's good. And also, I
don't like it.
The auto-tune on it at all. And also, it goes on for far too long. It's like 6 minutes long.
It does.
Yeah.
It is a very long song.
It doesn't need to be that long. He just repeats
it's like a drastic change. It's a drastic change. Like
it is kind of cool to see how different it is.
And then transitions into the blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
blah,
It's not like it's interesting, but I just don't really like.
I agree with the production is interesting, but
it's not
very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where would you? I can't push for high. I gotta say mid B.
Let's just roll with B, I think, because me, Nick, and Chandler.
yeah.
all
All right,
have
yeah,
it
we'll
around
throw it
B.
at B. We'll
I'll
throw it
say
at B.
high. I'll say high B.
All right, high B works.
I would also
That's
say
like
high B.
yeah, that's our general opinion.
All right.
So
Next we have
The Life of Pablo. Do you mind if I open this
Life
one?
of Pablo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
mind?
sure,
Do you mind if
So-
I start?
I want
Actually,
Or
no,
do you
yeah,
wanna
Nick hasn't
start?
started. Nick
yeah,
hasn't
no,
started
you
yet.
haven't started yet. You can go ahead.
Okay. This is my favorite Kanye album now.
Same.
When I
Nick,
obviously
Nick, high five. Nick, high five.
bang.
Did he do it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Why? Can you
I
not
did
see
too.
me?
No, I can't. I couldn't see it.
All right, come on, keep
Oh.
going.
Okay. Anyway, when I sat down over quarantine, because I used to think that this album was overrated. Like when people would rank it like S tier, I'd be like, all right, it's not that good. But then when I sat down and I listened to it, like fully everything through, like in order, all that, no stopping, just fully through, it was really good. And I feel like this is the album where there are only like one or two songs. Well, not even. I would say that I kind of like all of the songs on here. There might be one that I'm like, that's all right. But like I don't mind listening to all of them. And the ones that are really good, like No More Parties in LA, is really, really good. That's probably
Yeah.
top 5 Kanye songs of all time for me.
This is top
For
3
sure.
for me.
30 Hours, I also think is really, really good. I just love the production on that one. But it's just like it's not only telling a story throughout it, like his two-sided mind,
Mhm.
like the really raunchy side of him, and then as well as the really religious side of him as well. I feel like that contrast is really nice in this album. And I also feel like songs in this album that are religious are also, like Ultralight Beam and stuff like that, are very genuine, unlike Jesus is King, like we've said earlier. I think that this album and Jesus Walks are just his more genuine religious albums.
Yeah.
Like, I think John has said this before. This was meant to be his Jesus is King, kind of.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like,
I feel
his
like-
Jesus is King morphed into this.
Yeah.
His original
Can I
Jesus is
jump
King.
off your point?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I basically agree with everything that Nick said. It is also my favorite Kanye West album. I have it in my top 60 of all time favorites. One of my favorite hip hop albums. I generally we'll get to it when we get to Jesus King, but I have like a negative reaction to gospel music, and so that's sort of the reason I think also why I kind of didn't like Chance even on his earlier mixtapes because of that strong influence. But I think the way he does it here doesn't get on my nerves at all for some reason. I just find it more okay with like the sampling he uses. One word I use to describe it is colorful. Like I just like feel the way he's feeling very strongly. It's one of his best in almost every aspect. Production, samples, excellent from front to consistency, and also his rapping features were pretty good. Just really an excellent album. Concept, sometimes it's hard to get it. Concept albums are tough, and this one is a little messy, but I think it does work to the point where I can believe, like the idea of Pablo, like John knows completely about it, but like there's a couple different like interpretations, like Pablo Picasso or
yeah.
But yeah, just from front to back, just my favorite. College Dropout's close second. I really, really enjoy this record.
I'll say. Stuart, where would you rank it? Oh, so S for you.
Oh, definitely S tier. Yeah.
S.
Okay.
I would say
There
this is
is
the
no,
best album.
Let me get my.
I'm
quick
gonna.
bit.
Yeah, Chandler,
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
Yeah,
They're
Chandler.
just there. This is maybe the one Kanye album that I'm not like I'm actively not going to skip a song. Like if I'm listening to some with someone and they'll be like, "Oh, skip this song," I'm like, "No, I'm not skipping this song."
Because
For
it's
sure.
supposed to be
It's
listened to
just
together.
Yeah.
I know it's like a culmination. And I really enjoy that. Like
Me too,
that's
yeah.
how if every album could be done like that would be awesome. But
Well, not every
album
album is like that, but having a strong
None is
concept,
done as well as this one.
yeah,
not ever, but yeah,
Well, not many.
not Kanye.
yeah, not Kanye.
Not
It's
Kanye.
definitely his strongest concept,
Kanye.
but like
Yeah.
it's like a Sgt. Pepper or something like that, where it has a unifying concept.
Yeah. So you guys know 808s is my favorite, but this is like my favorite like new album. And I'll say like, while 808s is the most special to me, I think I enjoy listening to Life of Pablo more.
Right.
I just it's the. You see, all of his albums are really like honest. I feel like, or most of them are really honest. they're really him. But this one is just his. It's his like brain. Like Yeezus are like, I'll say like Yeezus is like his exaggerated thoughts, but this is like him. Like he says like
This is
he'll
real.
he'll talk about like his religious views and stuff like that, like on Ultralight Beam, and like he'll give his emotion on that, and then he'll talk about models. You know the line on Fire.
Yeah.
The line.
You know, it's very the line. It's very honest, and I really love that about it. And
I like
I love how he's honest about like he's very honest about like his thoughts on his marriage and like his family and how he knows he's prone to like messing things up. And like
the contrast that I think he's drawing also is like these pretty raunchy, inappropriate lyrics along with like this like Christian wholesome theme, which is something that I think is pretty interesting to listen to.
I think it's really cool.
Nick,
And I also feel.
Can I just say something real quick? Generally, this is taking a pretty long time. I think we can just run with the pop culture topics. I don't think we have to.
I know. Honestly, I was just about
sure.
to say that this is going to be a very long video. Maybe. I mean, maybe we throw one sports tier list in there at the end, but I don't think we need both. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars is going to take a little while too, so.
Yeah.
We still have
Let's
two
just
more.
break it up into two.
Yeah, we can do
10,
the two.
10 and then 10.5.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let's see how it goes first.
Yeah.
And then
So
we'll decide when we get there.
So for me it's an S. For me it's an S.
I think it's the
I agree.
strongest. It's the strongest album.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
S.
Better than Doctor's Fantasy, and some people will hate me for that, but
Whatever.
I don't hate you for it.
Fuck 'em.
I agree with that.
Nick,
All right.
I'm glad
Next
you
is
don't hate me.
EA.
All right. Yeah, now we have Yay.
So Nick, who wants to start with that? I can start with it.
Nick started the last time.
I don't care. You guys can go.
I don't have much to say honestly because
Me neither.
I think it's definitely the shortest record. Yeah, I just don't. The thing that I like a couple of the songs on this production is fine. Generally, it's just like a fine. But the thing that I always thought is a little interesting is it's like easily the most forgettable of any of his records. Like I almost forgot to rank it, and I know his music all right. Like it's short and it's not like talked about that often. And the cover art's a bit like lazy, I'd say. But
Yeah.
my problem with it honestly isn't necessarily the music or anything. I think it's fine. Is that it's the beginning for me with Kanye of like his public persona that I just dislike.
Yeah.
So even though you want to separate the art from the artist, he's a very he talks about himself all the time. And I don't like what he's saying. Like, I don't like what he's saying in the press. So if he's going to talk about what he's saying and then he's going to talk about what he's, reflecting what he's saying in the press, I'm not going to I don't buy it. Like, I don't appreciate it in the same level as almost anything else he's done. So I have it in like a high C or B. Like, it's not like a bad musical record. I just don't really take a lot of it in. And also it's frankly too short.
I would agree with Stuart there. I mean, I don't have much to say on this. It's just gonna be really quick, I agree with Stuart. It should be like I would say maybe a low B, just because I'm not that fond of any of the songs in this album. I mean, I feel like they're all right.
I really like. I thought about.
Killing You was good.
Yeah, no, I want to get to that.
But other than that, I just thought they were all pretty mediocre. Yeah.
Go
other
ahead.
than that song, I thought they were all pretty mediocre. So yeah, I'd put it like a low B.
So I'm one. A lot of people don't like you guys think it's okay. It seems like and Stuart, like you said, you disagree with a lot of, and I do too. It's very tied to like his kind of 2018 meltdown a little bit, where he was like on his MAGA-ish, which I totally was not supportive of, and so. There's that, but then so I thought about Killing You. I think is one of his better songs. It's in my top 30 of his songs.
I think it's an excellent song. It's like
I think it's a great song.
I think it's by far the
Kanye,
strongest song.
When Kanye talks about mental health, it's really important because like he's such a big figure in music period, not even hip hop, in music period.
Yeah.
And a lot of people see him as like this. At this day and age, they see him like this crazy dude who like he makes good music, but he's insane. So I think it's cool like when he elaborates on like what he deals with in his head, that because like I think mental health is a super serious subject in music, and approaching it can be kind of touchy, but the way he does it, it's very brute and honest, and I like that about it. It's very him. I think
shows
it's really
from experience. Yeah,
it's very cool. I like that, and I do think that most of the songs are pretty bland, but I love Ghost Town.
Song's alright. Yeah, I don't mind that.
I love it a lot. I think it's really good. I love Kanye's verse on it. It's very soft. It seems very like, it gives me like a very tired but like still going vibe. I like it. I think it's cool,
So where would you throw it in?
I think because of how short it is and because of like, it's not all the songs are like 10s or anything. I think it's like a low B because like, and also I think Violent Crimes is a pretty important song because it's about like his daughter, and again, it's very honest. I love that about his music. It's very honest.
Mhm.
It's him like his daughter's like 6, and he's thinking about like the future when his daughter's gonna be, preyed upon by guys. It's cool. I think it's very out there. It's not too much. Also, you see like how Kanye's kind of warming down to like being a family man, and how now this is the stuff he worries about, But I think at the end of the day, musically, like it's very
One of his weaker, or if not
it's
the
one of his
weakest.
weaker. It's too short. It's too short. And given how short it is, like if you're gonna make an album that short, they all should be like at least 8s or higher. I feel like, and they're not. Like All Mine, I think it's one of his worst songs. And Yikes is okay. But that at the end of the day, yeah, it's like a low B, like not crossing, but like just above high C, but it's a low B for me.
Yeah, all right, Chandler, do you want to go ahead? Do you have any other points on this one?
I mean, it's just kind of there. I don't really have any strong opinions about the album. It was
I
very
agree with
short.
that.
Yeah. I can't really say too much because
All of his
I've
albums
listened
like
to it,
have some kind of like defining characteristic, and this one just doesn't.
except this one, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the only
I
defining
actually-
characteristic is that I didn't remember it until I was thinking about ranking these. Like, I listened to it once and I was like, okay, I'm not going to actively seek it out again.
Right.
I actually
say-
forgot to write it down on the list.
I would say I would say low B probably, but that's more for a
I think
statement.
I would have to put it C though. Just comparing it to his other work, it's just a huge step down for me.
Yeah, if you compare it to his other work, it definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it is a
I would
Kanye
say
list.
C plus. I
Yeah,
would say
so
C
we can
plus.
probably put it at C.
C+,
If
yeah,
we're
sure.
doing it like that, I'm fine with putting it at C.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually
that's a good
forgot to
point.
write it
Actually,
down on
that's a good point.
It is a bit of a letdown after Life
Yeah.
of Pablo.
For sure,
yeah,
that's a good point.
it's
Actually,
it's very irrelevant. Like I even forgot to write it down here, but I remember it as
that's a good
so
point.
thank God.
Actually,
All right, his final
Um,
album.
Well,
Most recent
no,
album.
Well, to date.
two
to date.
more.
His most to date.
Until he leaks an album yesterday.
Well, I saw that he was supposed to drop an album this
July 24th.
oh
No,
yeah,
We
Donda.
have 2 more.
No, on the
two
list
more.
we have Kid See Ghost, and then we have Jesus.
Oh,
King.
I almost forgot about that. Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't believe I almost forgot about that.
I know.
So
Yeah,
Oh,
next.
I'll
we
say
have
correctly
Kid
this
See
time.
Ghost.
You want me to
I have
open
the
it?
vinyl of Kid See Ghost.
Yeah, and I actually played it. We played it at my
Yeah.
house.
I played it at Stuart's house actually.
Yeah, he has his own record player now, but
Yeah, I do.
The record player boys.
So, it is a Kid Cudi collaboration, but for this one, it comes down to personal preference for myself. And actually, it's kind of interesting to note that this is 7 songs, just like, yay! But this album is just fantastic. It's quite different from almost anything else he's produced. I just love this album. I love the concept. I love the production, like eerie, dark. The concept is quite strong. It's not a huge factor, but I love the cover art. He does, sampling is good on this one. Really excellent. I have it in S tier. It's my 3rd favorite behind College Dropout.
I would say I would agree with Stuart. I do really like this album, but I mean, yeah, this is kind of where I got introduced to Kid Cudi a little bit more. Like after I listened through this album for, I don't know, the 2nd or 3rd time, I started listening to Kid Cudi's own songs, which I mean, they're fine, but like they're nothing compared to what he did in collaboration with Kanye. But
Well,
I don't
Anyway,
think that's true.
yeah, his first album's pretty good.
some of them, he has some really good.
I think the
songs,
most
but
important
I just
part
didn't
is
think
that
they were as deep as his discography with Kanye.
Kid Cudi had an album called Speeding Bullet to Heaven, which came out, I think, the year before
That
this.
I didn't listen to it. I know it's supposed to be bad, right?
Yeah, most people are really low on it, and I don't even think there was issues with it and stuff. So I think that this, it's definitely known as a Kanye West album, but it actually means more for Cudi's career that this came out under him. Being a Kanye West protege and stuff like that.
And this was
I
another,
agree with everything Stuart said, pretty much.
yeah, this was another album that I kind of was not very low on, but I was kind of like Life of Pablo. I was like, it's overrated. Like everybody's like, oh, like it's so good, blah blah blah. But I think that's kind of where my transition to liking new Kanye more than old Kanye kind of started with Life of Pablo, and then it transitioned into this one as well, because this one I feel like has some really, really good songs on it, despite how short it is. It is only 6 songs, but
Fourth Dimension is just such a killer
Yeah, I
track
think-
for me. I
I
love
think
that song so
all
much.
6 of them very listenable, and then the really good ones on there are really good. I mean, I wouldn't put it in the S tier. I would put it in an A tier, below My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and Late Registration. I would put it above Graduation, but below the other two.
I'm totally with Nick.
I agree, actually, totally. I think I don't have much to say on it because you guys already said the most part, which I totally agree with, actually. I just think it's really, as a fan of both artists, I really love it how like they're both very intimate on this one with like talking about their own struggles with mental health and stuff, like what Kanye did on Ye. I think it's very, but also like just beyond that, it's like the production's insane. Every track is honestly like at least a 9 for me, at least a 9.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I think it's so excellent, just because it's so like this is unifying concept.
It's what Ye should have been. It's what Ye should have been.
I mean, even if Ye was like 3/4 as good, I would be higher on it than I already am. Like, I don't know. I just personally love this album a lot. Like,
I do
listen
too.
to Kanye West, like, because I'm not like I wouldn't even put Kanye in like my top 15 artists or maybe even top 20. But like, if I'm gonna sit down and listen to Kanye West, I'm either gonna listen to Life of Pablo, College Dropout, or I'm gonna listen to this. Like, those are the things that I'm gonna pick. And it's a hip hop record, but like it's so like
not even like
it's like almost like experimental music, like to that level.
Totally.
It really, some of the production and things he was able to do with the sampling really blow me away. And I think I wish he would just continue making music like this, to be honest.
Honestly, I'm excited because like Cudi did say there's another one coming. I'm excited because I think they might be. I think Kanye and Cudi might be a better duo than Kanye and Jay-Z.
I kind of agree with that because Cudi's kind of underrated, and then it produces better music because with the Jay-Z collaborations, you're kind of expecting a lot more. But then with Kids See Ghost, that didn't really have a lot of expectations. You got
also
really,
the two
really
of
good
them.
music.
The two of them, like, it's more of like a cohesive thing, while Jay-Z and Kanye, it's like going off separately. Like, one has the song that's about them, and then the other one has
you know why?
Him and Cudi are just like a group.
Yeah, because they're just like personally better. Like they know each other better, and they're better friends.
Yeah.
Like I think people.
Kanye started as Jay-Z's producer.
Yes.
Right, but they weren't like they didn't have like the relationship that everyone thinks they do. Like it was much more like a rivalry than a friendship. I mean, it was a friendship. It was, and like keyword was because they're not really talking anymore. But it was much more of a rivalry than a friendly rivalry. While Cudi and Kanye are like friends, like they're buds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why they work well together.
I mean, I want this one to be an S, but I think most of you guys agree that should be an A.
I'm honestly, you know what? It's like such a 10. For me, I'm totally fine with either S or it has to be either high A or S.
All right, so our general opinion is high A then. I have it as higher than anything that we already ranked in A.
I don't. I think Dark Twisted Fantasy and Late Registration are a little bit better than this one.
Yeah, but we don't think that. And
I tend to agree with Nick, but it's all so close that I'm fine doing any combination of the three.
So let's put it one because I think it's so good, and so does John.
That's true. That's true.
It's a collective
opinion. I say we put it at a high A tier, but then we kind of make those three interchangeable.
All right, that's fine.
Make them even.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they'll split even. Kids See Ghost at high A.
All right, it's final album.
And now we move to the last album, the one that we probably talked about the most.
Do you want me to open
entire
or?
Episode. Yeah, we have Jesus is King.
We've already been talking about it a lot, but
yeah, I know.
So, like, for me, I actually have this at the D tier. I really don't like this album.
Wow.
I don't like gospel music at all. Like, I'm never going to listen to gospel music, and this is a gospel album, all things considered. So I just don't, care. Also, secondly, this is easily the worst period of time for him in his public image. And it's very hypocritical for him to be saying things about his belief in God and all that stuff while he's completely spouting basically nonsense and dangerous rhetoric publicly. So it just makes me dislike him, and it's going to give me a negative reaction just to hearing his voice when I hear him on this record. Production is fine. It's not like worse than any other Kanye album or anything. And this music is okay. I mean, it is gospel, so I'm not really going to have a positive reaction to it. I don't think it's like, oh my God, this is the worst record I've ever heard in my life or anything like that. But like compared to, if I'm going to listen to anything Kanye, this is easily on the bottom of my list for anything I am going to listen to. And even though, like, I don't know if it's even objectively as worse, but I just can't fathom putting it above anything else we've rated. So I have it as at best, it's a low C for me.
I would say, I agree with Stuart in the fact that it's probably one of his worst, considering Kanye's public image at the time of this album coming out, and even now too. But I would say this album came out at a time where we really needed a deep album from Kanye. And instead we got a very generic, color-coded album that's just kind of oh, paint a smiley face on it, whatever. Oh, my public image is, gone down the drain now, so why not just make it seemed, as a religious person, it seemed very fake to me. I wanted
antithetical to the actual Christian message of
and I wanted it to be real. I was like, oh, maybe he's finding his way or whatever after 2 years of being in a shithole or whatever, but he just kind of, it underperformed, not only in production-wise, but just at a time where you're expecting a more emotional album, something more real, you got something very generic and fake. So I don't think it's terrible. I think some of the songs on here are pretty good, but like John touched on earlier, some of the lyrics on some of these songs, like Jesus be with us, Jesus, it doesn't even rhyme. It's just saying it.
Right, if some of these tracks were on a different
bad.
album, these are the religious tracks on the album. Let's say his best 3 or 4. I'd be like, oh, those fit on the album, fine, because we know Kanye has a religious side. But the fact that it's every song just kind of it makes the good ones.
And
much
he's
worse
forcing himself not to swear too. Unlike prior albums, he was kind of all right, you know what? I don't need to swear to get my message across. Like you guys said.
Yeah, my thing about this album. Oh yeah, Nick, finish up.
Let me just I would put it at a low B, maybe a high C, but I think it's worse than Yeezus, but I think it's a little bit better than Ye. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think too.
I remember. Can I go quickly? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll go last.
I remember I was getting ready to go to a soccer game this season. I was just boarding the bus, and everybody was like, "Yo, guys, Jesus is King is coming out today."
Yeah, Nick remembers too.
That was huge. Nick is listening.
Yeah, because
Nick couldn't. Stuart sent me that picture of Nick listening to the album. I wasn't even in school that
because
day.
Nick couldn't listen because Nick didn't have Spotify Premium, so he couldn't listen to the actual album track to track.
Oh yeah.
So I had to make a playlist of each of the record of each of the songs and then send it to Nick. So in my actual YouTube account, there's a playlist that's just the record.
Oh my god, what a good friend! Yeah, everybody shouts out to Stuart.
John wasn't even at school.
Stuart coming up big at that lunch.
Stuart coming up clutch.
John wasn't even at school that day.
Yeah, I wasn't even in school, but I could feel Nick's happiness.
Yeah.
I had my
but I had it way overrated.
Guys, I'm going to the back of the bus. Just don't talk to me. I'm gonna listen to this album. I got through 3 songs.
That's right.
I was like, so first off, it was a pretty long bus ride too. It was one of the farther games. It was a 30-minute drive, 40-minute drive. I got through 6 minutes of the album. I was like, I'm
just listening to church music right now.
And being the choir kid here, I generally enjoy church music.
Yeah.
But this was not.
So how do you think I felt?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was coming into this. I'm not a super religious person, but I was very interested to see this side because obviously we've seen bits and pieces of him on albums doing this, and I was unsure, that's the best way I can put it, about how it would come together as a total album. And I think the general consensus is that it did not come together well, and I think Stuart put it pretty nicely. I'm a little bit less severe on it than Stuart is. I'd put it at a mid C. That's actually why I had I had Yay at. I put it at a B- because I wanted it to be very, very obvious that Jesus King is pretty far below that in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I'd say C-. I'd be fine with even putting it at a D.
That's what I want it to be.
Yeah.
Quick point just before
let John go.
Oh, actually,
let
John,
John
you go. I'll say it after. Sorry.
All right. So look. So everyone, it's established at this point. I'm a huge Kanye fan, right?
Yeah.
So, again, in 2018, 2019, we were waiting for an album. There was going to be the sequel to Yeezus, so it'd be called Yandhi. It was going to be like if Yeezus was the evil twin, Yandhi was the good twin. It wasn't going to be a gospel album, but it was going to be a little softer. It wasn't going to be it wasn't going to be religious really, but it was going to be just nicer to listen to. And a lot of leaks came out, so we already knew what we were getting. Come August 2019. Kim announces that Kanye scraps the album and is making Jesus is King. So we're like, okay. So it seems he's making a gospel album. it ends up getting delayed like what was it like 4 times,
It
like
was
3
delayed
times.
so many times.
Yeah.
It was supposed to
It was
come out in
delayed, so
July.
I'm like, dude, this album must be insane. Like, if it's gonna like he scrapped Yandi, an already pretty much finished album, and then like this album's getting delayed. It's gonna be sick. I'm not big into religious music, but this is gonna be sick. All right.
When did it come out again?
It came out October.
End of October.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was this
October
year?
25th.
2019.
2019.
October
Yeah,
25th.
2019.
That was
This school year,
It
but
feels like longer
School
than
year.
that. That's
I
crazy.
know.
I
In
mean,
COVID
with
years,
the
it was
whole
like 25
world, it
years
feels
ago.
Like we're
Jeez, that feels like forever.
going
It
into
felt like
college
sophomore.
already.
It was like
So
uh,
I'll say like my disappointment as a Kanye fan, as a music listener.
Oh,
My
God.
disappointment as a Kanye fan, like to quote the meme, is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. Because dude, you have to understand how long I waited for Yandi. Because some of the songs on Yandi made it to this album, but all the lyrics were changed to be all gospel-y. So, and that pissed me off. And I'm sorry, like, to be aggressive on the podcast, but it pissed me off.
Hey,
And,
we
like,
the energy.
and it's just I'm like, okay, Water is the worst Kanye song ever, and no one will ever change my mind on that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Unless on the new album, like on Donda, it changes.
I really wanted to do well on that. I really want that to be a good album.
he's had a
Me
couple
too.
flops. He needs to make a comeback.
No, I'm
He
excited
really
actually. You know
needs to
why?
bounce
I'm
back.
excited. You know why I'm excited? Because there are actually some songs on Yandi that made it to Donda from the leaked track.
Oh,
list.
really?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So I think he's refraining from so much of his like Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Unless he's
But,
changing the lyrics again.
Unless he changes the lyrics again, which would.
And
suck.
Dr. Dre's in it.
No, that's a different.
Why is that a bad thing?
Dr.
Look at
Dre's
that.
just gonna remix Jesus is King. It's not gonna be a different album. He's gonna remix it with his own production.
Okay.
But
Oh.
so
Make it into a G-Funk album.
Kanye noted on like a recent GQ interview that a lot of the album was recorded on his iPhone. I knew it.
It was
like, okay,
recorded
after
on his iPhone? Well, that actually
Nick,
makes a lot
you
of
guys,
sense.
after this, if you care enough, go after this podcast. Go listen to Selah. It's the worst quality recording, even if that's a good song. Which is, it's one of the better
I
songs.
do
on the
like
album.
that song.
No, I like the song too, but I like the Yandi version
Except
better.
the
But
rapping in it isn't very clean. It just sounds like he's reading it.
no, exactly.
He
He probably
pauses.
was. He's probably on his notes
no.
app.
Yeah.
No. It's like he took his iPhone. It's like he took his iPhone and just like went to the mic and was like, "God is king, we the soldiers," and then it was just like rapping on that. So like, as a Kanye fan, not only was I hurt, I was disappointed. Severely disappointed. As a music listener, okay, production is subpar. It's not very good. It's okay. It's okay. Again, Water is one of the worst songs I've actually ever heard ever.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not
Dude.
inherently disagreeing with you.
Hopefully
That is-
Kanye West isn't watching this.
Yes.
Listen. No,
Yeah,
listen.
he's still
Kanye,
watching.
if you're watching this, please just drop out for 2020. Don't run. Just don't.
He already did.
Kanye,
Oh,
no,
he had an
he
event
didn't.
tonight.
He was campaigning
He
yesterday.
had an event. And he was
He
crying.
was in South Carolina and he cried.
He's crying?
Yeah.
No,
Alright,
no,
can we
no,
just-
no,
alright,
you're
come on,
talking about
man.
We need to keep it
Stuart.
moving. Sorry.
Okay, yeah,
Sorry,
no,
okay, yeah,
no
take it short.
politics.
Yeah, I'll explain to you later.
But John, where would you rate it?
Look, it's his worst album. I don't hate it, even though I've said a lot of negative about it. I don't hate it. There's some bright spots on it for me, and I can listen
me
to
too.
it front to back. Even if I hate Water, I can listen to it front to back, and I'm fine with it. And also I like Pusha T's verse on it a lot too, on Use This Gospel. I think it's really great. It's like a mid C for me, low C.
All right,
Honestly,
I
like,
think
I would go to D, but I think I like Kanye too much to make it a D.
But
Yeah.
like the thing is, the ranking it a D is not saying that it's like the worst record ever. It's just that in comparison
Out
to
of
the rest of
Kanye's.
the-
Yeah, if we're
I would
gonna
say
compare
how
that,
about
It's a distinct
how about a
category.
C minus? A C minus.
I'm
You
totally
might-
adamant that it's a D, but if you guys all
Borderline-
think it's a C, then I'm.
I think it's a. D
All right, no matter what, it's last place.
Yeah.
D plus.
All
Okay, I'll say D plus comparing it to like especially like
So yeah, D.
yeah
D.
D.
All right.
So,
So
Christ.
let's just recap really fast. And I mean, just a quick point on Jesus is King before we move on. All of us who come from very different in life perspectives, we all found a way to hate Jesus is King for
right. John hated it music because of his Kanye fan roots. Chandler didn't like it because like it's just a huge disappointment. I didn't like it because I just dislike gospel music and I don't really like Kanye West personally.
and me who
recently.
likes religious music still hated it because it just wasn't genuine.
It's
All right,
just
anyway.
like
Right, genuine.
Just
And I
Kanye,
really
come
hope,
on, man.
I really hope if somehow in the universe Kanye sees this podcast, I really hope he still.
John has
Hey,
hope
we've
he'll
said
see it.
so many positive
has
things
hope
about
he'll
him
see
in this
it.
podcast.
I mean,
Yeah, we really have. We've praised the hell out of him.
I don't think
He
this is
deserves it,
Kanye
though.
slander at all.
Yeah.
No, it's
All
not.
right.
It's just
All right.
honesty.
Let's finish it off here.
All right, yeah. Let's just
Jeez,
read
we've
it
been
off what we
recording for
have.
almost 2 hours.
I know. Let's just read it off really fast. We have in S tier, we have Life of Pablo and College Dropout. Then in A tier, we have All Tied. We have Kids See Ghosts, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Late Registration, and I would say Graduation's a little bit below all of those, but not by much. Then we have in B tier, we have 808s. We have Watch the Throne, and we have Yeezus. Then in C tier, we have Yay. We have Cruel Summer, and we have Jesus is King on like a borderline C- D+, but it's last place.
All right. Are we still doing Star Wars?
I say we just go through Star Wars and then we cut it because this is where there's no way
Go
we're doing
really
any sports
quickly
stuff
through
today.
Star Wars.
Let's go through Star Wars pretty quick. It won't
Okay.
take too long because there's
It
only.
won't.
Oh yeah.
There's only 11 movies, and they're not. Some of them will probably have full
And
consensus
I'm assuming
on.
we're gonna agree on most of them. But all right, let's
Yeah.
not waste any time.
All right. So are we gonna
Okay,
go
so
chronologically?
just so
Let's
the viewers,
do
yeah, we're gonna
chronologically,
go
just-
chronologically. Just so the viewers know now, we're gonna divide this episode into 2 parts. They'll probably come out at the same time, so you can just go and watch the next one when this one's done. But we will
Or take
be
a break.
in the
Take a snack break, probably.
yeah, take a snack break,
It's pretty
take a
long.
bathroom break because we've been going for
Good
2 hours.
point.
Anyway, yeah,
I've
in the
had a
next-
good time on this.
Yeah, this is great.
That's good.
This is our
Great
most
having
fun.
fun. Much better 10th episode than the scrapped one.
Oh
that you'll
my!
never
Let's just
see.
not talk about that. They don't know
Okay.
about that.
We'll
Yeah,
get
you don't
into
know about that. Right. All right. Yeah. So we'll go through
It's gonna
this,
be a
and then
Madden ranking episode, and it wasn't very interesting. We'll put it like that.
yeah. And then on the next part, we'll have the 2 sports tier lists that we have. All right. So let's go into it. Star Wars movies. Let's start at Episode 1, Phantom Menace. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm just gonna say real quick. I just have a D tier. I remember Nick bringing this up the other day. No, sorry, C tier. My bad. C tier.
Yeah,
They're all
okay.
worst movies. It's got some cool moments like pod racing and stuff. But Nick actually brought up this really interesting point that I actually do agree with, is that the dialogue in this movie is actually the worst, I think,
It's
of
so
any
bad.
Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And also,
Sucks.
I think Nick also another thing that he brought up was how annoying Kid Anakin is in this movie. I mean, Hayden Christensen gets on my nerves, especially in Attack of the Clones. But like,
I don't even hate him.
this kid.
I don't think he was that bad. I don't.
I
think
like him.
Hayden
I like him in Revenge of the Sith, but in this,
Yeah.
in the Kid Anakin is just like there's nothing.
I want to say
I love
really
Darth.
quickly.
Hey, I love Darth Maul, but like I just can't.
Yeah.
Darth
Like,
Maul
you know what I
was
want to say
a
though?
cool villain.
You know what I
Now
want to say really
this is
quickly?
pod racing.
You know what I want to say really quickly though?
Like, shut
I
up.
don't blame any of the actors in the movies because they're just doing what George told them to do.
Yeah,
Right, and the
it was-
All right,
script.
no,
How
but
do
the
you
kid was
make
just
that
annoying.
script sound
The kid was
bad,
just
too?
annoying on his own. I'm sorry.
Also, Jar
was not
Jar.
Jar
Oh,
Jar. Jar Jar
dude,
alone
I
dropped it
went
down.
Potential
into
like some
B-.
racial issues with this one too.
That
Yeah,
was
Greedo,
that was pretty
Greedo,
racist.
Jewish.
And the
And
the
Newt
Asian
Gunray.
people, the Asian villains.
Watto.
Now there are 2 of them.
Newt
Like
Gunray.
what?
Yeah,
That's
like,
that's
the,
outdated as
That's
hell,
That's the
bro.
Gungans are like possibly Jamaican, like this.
Yes.
That's why.
Oh my God,
Gotta,
so bad.
There's some issues.
Or
here
Watto,
with
sorry,
that.
not Greedo. Watto. That's what I meant.
Watto, yeah, Watto.
Oh yeah.
He's Jewish.
Yeah.
Some questionable choices made by George.
It's me money.
There are some good redeeming qualities, but it's really a huge, one of the biggest cinematic
Sure,
disappointments
then.
of all time.
I just think it's flat out boring. Like you guys, everybody
it's
really
pretty
hates Attack of the Clones that much, but when I watched it back recently, I thought it was so bad it was funny. Now this
Well, that's
movie was
not-
so bad.
That's
This
not
movie
what
was so bad it was
intended, I
bad.
assume.
Like, all right, I'm still saying Attack of the Clones is bad, but at least I enjoyed watching this. This Phantom Menace, I was like bored out of my friggin' mind. I was just like watching. I was like, all right, can we just get to Duel of the Fates and then I can just stop watching?
That's that's pretty cool. But other than that, the
Love
movie's
Duel of the
kind of-
Fates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides Duel of the Fates, the rest of the movie sucks.
Coda.
I don't even.
Let's
I don't
just
even
put it out there.
like
All the
Qui-Gon,
fights are good. All the fights are good. Let's put it out there.
Yeah.
But there are barely any fights. There's like 2 fights.
No,
in the
I
movie.
mean all the
In
fights
that
in the
movie.
saga. On the saga, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Basically. Well, we'll get to
No. Attack of the Clones.
So what are
we'll
you
get
guys
to that.
ranking it? Like
I
what?
have it as low C.
I'm gonna
I'll say
go
low
high
C.
D. High D.
Really?
I'll say
Yeah.
low C because
It's my
it
least
has its
favorite.
moments.
I'm gonna say mid C
All right, so we'll roll at
Bro,
low C. then.
what? All
That's
right, we'll
probably-
go low C. We'll go low C.
All right.
because I don't think
Attack of the
people are much
Clones.
Actually,
Okay.
no. I'm gonna say high C. I'm gonna say a high C.
Okay, but we're still rolling
High
at
C.
low C.
Well, we're still going low
Still
C.
C. Still C. But I'm saying high C.
Yeah.
All right,
Still
Attack
high
of the Clones. Attack of the
Alright,
Clones.
I had this one at a low B. because I think that the action scenes are pretty good, and as as John was saying, you can't blame the actors.
Yeah.
For the way that George is telling them to go. He tried his best. Okay, he tried his best. Some of the
I don't think Hayden Christensen is an inherently bad actor because okay,
I don't hate him at all.
There are good moments in this movie.
I love Anakin. Anakin's my favorite. Even like.
Stop moving around.
Okay, the way he. No.
John, you're lagging out.
Yeah,
Am I?
Okay, you're back.
Am I back?
Kind of.
Yes.
Kind of.
You're catching up.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think. Okay, the way the concept of Anakin is my favorite. Like as a character, I think of course he has his bad lines, and like I can't say there's a deeper meaning behind. No, I think he has some pretty bad lines.
But the
But
story
overall, I love the character of Anakin Skywalker. He's my
The
favorite.
character arc. Oh my god.
The character arc is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
It
It could have been so much better though.
Visually,
Imagine he did it right.
Visually, he just looks so cool. Like especially in the Anakin and Obi-Wan fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we'll get to that. So yeah.
In this one, he
Attack of
just
the
looks like a
Clones-
pouting baby. He's like,
Yeah, the hairstyle was definitely not the
Yeah.
best for this one.
that was bad.
Yeah. I think for me, Attack of the Clones is lower than Phantom Menace because I think the romance, even if in
might be the
concept, in concept
Why are
it's
you
good, but
shocked?
like
They're both not very good.
I know, but
in concept the romance is cool, but I think the way it was done, like it was executed,
it's so bad.
again, it's very awkward because they haven't seen each other in 10 years, but then they're suddenly like romantic, even though she's like 8 years older than him.
Plus, you know
And
what makes
she's
no
like, "You're a
sense?
cute little boy, Anakin."
You know what makes
Yeah,
no
yeah. In the last movie, she's
Are you an
in,
angel?
yeah. In the last
Oh
in the
my
last movie,
God.
she thought he was in the last movie. She thought he was like a little kid, and now he's like
You know the worst part?
now he's
She's
legal.
like, "You'll always be that little boy on Tatooine."
They
Like,
sent.
then why are you trying to smash? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah. It's
I mean,
just really-
I don't think it's worse than Phantom Menace. Like, at least this
I
one,
also don't.
like
Action scenes are better. Action scenes are better, and visual effects are
well,
better.
that fight against Count Dooku was really bad. They legit had
No,
a
it
shot
was
of just
not.
him going like this with his
Okay,
lightsaber,
okay,
and then
that-
cut
okay, that
back to
part- that
Dooku
part, yeah,
going
that
like
part.
this.
Yeah, that part was, yeah.
I love
so bad.
the also it's probably the most violent scene in any Star Wars movie is when Mace Windu just straight up beheads
Decapitate
Jango Fett.
right in
Jango
front
Fett.
of his son.
Yeah.
front of
Jango Fett was
He's
so
like,
cool though.
"Dad."
That was
very
tough,
Wait,
that's
but
very
the part-
bad.
The part I don't get is that he picked up his head after and put it up to his. Like, wouldn't like the head fall out of the helmet?
No, the head fell off. The head did fall. No, the head did fall off.
Also,
I've rewatched it.
why
It
would
did.
you do that? That's
Oh.
just like when you should be. Why wasn't he crying?
He was just like, "Oh no."
Because everyone in that universe is stone cold and bad to the bone.
That's
They
true.
just chopped your dad's head off mercilessly. All right.
And Anakin,
So
Anakin's
where are we
just
ranking
stupid
this?
in
Where are we
that.
ranking
Now
this?
is my
I think
time.
it's-
I'd
I
put
think
it
it's
at
like
Chandler,
a
you wanna-
Loki.
Oh yeah, Chandler, go for it.
I mean, I personally, something that a lot of people don't enjoy, but I do, is the more political aspect of the prequels. I enjoy
I
seeing
hate it.
how I enjoy seeing how the world got to the point of the original
Empire.
trilogy.
Well, it doesn't make sense.
Senator Jar Jar.
It doesn't need to make sense.
Senator
Darth
Jar
Jar
Jar.
Yeah,
Darth Banks.
the fact. I mean, I understand that it doesn't make sense, but I can suspend disbelief for that, just because it
Yeah, but it's
really,
so
it really
Politics are
boring.
just done
draws out-
terribly.
It's just so.
What?
The whole plot started with a trade dispute. Like, that's just stupid.
I mean, you'd
Chandler,
be surprised how many times that's happened.
Yeah, but that's like real life. This is a freaking galaxy far away with flying
Fantasy
spaceships.
genre. I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
We don't
I
give
mean,
a
I
shit
totally
about
understand,
friggin'
but I
trade
think that
things.
the prequels really add to Palpatine's villain status in the original prequels.
I am the Senate.
I agree. I agree.
So in that,
Sheev.
that aspect, I really
Sheev.
enjoy it. So I don't know what everyone's laughing about, but I'm gonna put it at
Sheev.
I'd put it at a low B.
I have it as a low B as well, actually, Chandler. Even though I was kind of pooping on it.
I'm gonna say
yeah.
high C. High C.
John, what would you say?
Okay.
Because you're like the
so
tiebreaker here.
yeah, you know what? Okay, here's the thing. I don't think actually. I think I said it like earlier, but I don't think it's a D actually. Even though I think it's worse than the Phantom Menace in some aspects,
You'd put it as C.
I put it somewhere in the C range because
So we'll have it at high C,
because visually it's a lot better, and especially like the clone troopers, like the way they're
CGI
introduced
was
is
so
really
bad
great.
in the first one. CGI was so bad in the first one. I didn't even.
Yeah, I know. I
It was
rewatched
terrible.
No, actually, you want to know something funny? I rewatched just out of watching it. I rewatched the Phantom Menace 5 days ago, and I realized I was right there, and I'm like, wow, even CGI Yoda just looks terrible.
Yeah, it's really.
He looks so bad in that movie.
He doesn't really
Like,
look
at
good
least
in
he
any of
looks
them, but
good.
he looks
He looks
even
good.
worse.
He looks better in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
All right, next one. So we have this
All
one.
right.
I'd
Next.
say,
Round C.
Yeah.
Round C.
All right, next we got Revenge of the
a
Sith.
cult classic.
S.
S. Wow.
I love this. I
think
love
I'd
this
put it as
movie.
S.
I have it
I
as
love
an
it.
A.
But hold
I
on,
love it.
stop.
I have it as an A. Yeah, I would agree with Nick.
You guys are
there
overrating it.
There
No,
are
I'm
better,
No, I am not.
There are
No, I
better
am
Star
not.
Wars movies. The
Just
thing
because
is,
you're prequels fans.
right, the problem with
Yeah.
this movie for me is that it does have good moments, but within encapsulated the same problems. It still fails to deliver on many of the continuity of the prequels. Like, for
Facts.
example, Princess Leia is supposed to remember her mom. Which is
Yeah.
That was a lie.
It doesn't
I
line
think that
up.
was just a lie.
No.
You know, you can't blame the actors, but it is still a part of the total of the movie. The dialogue is still pretty bad in this movie.
The
Well,
music is
comics-
top tier, though.
If
The
Jackson
music is really
Dupont
good,
is
though.
watching this, he can
Music
confirm what I'm
is-
thinking. But I'm pretty sure the comics actually, while they're technically non-canon anymore, they like resolve a lot of the problems, saying that was actually just a lie by Leia. Like she doesn't
Yeah,
remember her
but
mom.
whatever.
That's just like theorists coming up with that, though.
Well, no, that's
like
not
it's
written by
canon, but it's canon.
once
But
canon.
Yeah, but
there
that's
are
just
many,
what they threw in
there are many good
afterwards.
parts of this movie, though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
which
It is
apparently
comfortably
isn't-
an S tier for me. It's comfortably S tier.
Well, I
I
don't want to
disagree.
go ahead, but it's not better than A New Hope or Empire
Well,
Strikes
look,
Back.
I don't think it is.
If
Here,
you
can I
think
make
that,
a
you're
point
wrong.
really fast?
Yeah.
Unlike most people our age, I did not start watching Star Wars with the prequels. I
did
Me
actually
neither.
saw
Me neither.
I saw the original trilogy first,
Yep, I did too.
but I feel like that's a big. As much as I think Revenge of the Sith is a very good movie, just from a Star Wars fan perspective, like it just has everything you could want. Like it's right up to the backstory of A New Hope. Like it's the closest thing you can get to the backstory of New Hope. Like you didn't really need Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Like you needed this movie to
Yeah.
understand.
It still kicks butt for the most part.
It
super
really
good.
does.
I'll
But
say, like,
It's
I
not the
don't
perfect
think
movie,
it's
but
an
it's
S
so
tier.
good.
I'll say, like, honestly, like, okay, let's get this out of the way. Visuals are top tier. Music is top tier. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
If we're gonna story also. I think like I said, my same argument with like Anakin. I think Anakin is a well-written character. I think this is a well-written movie generally. I think it's really good, and I love the darker aspect of it. I like how it's not a very good ending.
Me too.
You know, like good. You know, it's hopeful, but it's not good. You know,
Mhm.
it's not like happy.
Like it leaves you on a cliffhanger because that's when you're
Well,
supposed to
the
watch the
only
original
part
trilogy.
that I don't like about the end is when Darth Vader is like, no.
Yeah.
No, okay,
Well,
so
see,
that's
at
what I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
Yeah,
I'm getting
go
to
for
that.
it. Go for it.
I was like,
So obviously, I think all the prequels had its moments, and by its moments, I mean like its corny moments or like its bad dialogue moments. And of course,
has a
yeah,
lot.
this movie
It
My
has,
ruins
point
I
of
the
think,
view, the
movie.
Jedi are evil.
That
Give me a
ruins-
break.
in such- dude, in such an intense,
That is such a
in
good
such
scene. That's
in
such a
such
good
an intense scene, that line ruins it for me every
Yeah,
time.
no,
I'm
see,
like,
Nick,
oh come on.
Nick,
Also,
is he wrong though? Is he wrong?
no, that line is terribly delivered and super
He could have
corny.
just
It
said,
doesn't
I'm
matter if
saying,
he's
I'm saying,
wrong.
is he wrong that the Jedi are evil?
No, that's not
No.
the point.
"That's not the point. It's
The
the way
point
that
is
he
that
said
it's
it."
a terribly delivered line.
He said-
after the
he said
podcast,
he said
we can talk about this. After the
And also,
podcast, we can talk about
wait,
that.
one more line that I hate is, what is it? It's like, the Jedi can't save you, Padme. Only my new powers can do
Powers
that.
can do
Are
that
you serious?
to protect you. To protect you.
He was
Come
naive.
on,
come
That's
on.
the whole
George.
point. That's why it comes to his total character arc.
So
at the end.
let
But
me
no
let me
real person would say that. A robot would, but
wait.
Right.
Wait, guys,
Die of a broken heart, Nick.
guys.
I'm starting to
Guys.
dislike this movie more as we've been talking about
Wait, guys,
I'm gonna put
wait.
it in a B tier.
Guys. Wait, no.
I'm disliking it even more.
All right, John, go.
All right.
We just roll with it at A tier. We're gonna argue about this forever.
No, but
Let's
I
just
just
go.
want to finish.
John, make
Yeah,
a
no,
point.
John can
Let
make his
John
last
make his
point,
point.
and then we'll roll it at
Yeah.
A.
Yeah. So generally, okay. Obviously, I'll put my nostalgia to the side because I've rewatched most of these actually pretty recently. Just kind of like Star Wars a lot. I rewatch these ones a lot. Again, it has its moments. But I think it's first of all, no discussion. It's the best prequel.
Sorry.
It's also like
Oh, by
one of the
far,
better.
yeah.
I think. Okay, you guys are
One
gonna
of the
hate me
better
for this. You guys are gonna hate me for this, but please, hear me out. Do not interrupt me yet. Okay, ready? I think it's better than A New Hope.
Oh, come on! Get
It's better
out
than
of
New Hope.
here!
I'm sorry.
Get
Nope,
out
you
of
can't.
here!
John,
cannot
come
change my mind.
on.
How do you compare the dialogue from those movies?
Nope.
It's one of the
I'm sorry.
worst
Let John talk.
dialogues ever.
Nope.
Oh my.
Nope.
Yeah, let him
Nope.
talk. Let him talk.
Nope.
How
I'm
could
really
it be
holding
better?
myself.
Nope.
I'm
Dialogue
holding
be
myself
third.
back right now, dude.
Nope.
3 and 4
Just finish
interchangeable
this.
for me.
Can
Keep
we
going.
Look.
just finish this?
Look.
Can we please
Just hear me out.
finish
Hear me
this
out. I knew it. Look, hear me
Bro,
out. Hear me out.
screw you, prequels fans.
No, not even as a
Prequels,
prequel fan.
they
No,
suck.
not even as a prequel fan. Not
I
even as
am
a prequel fan. Look, I think.
It's not
Okay,
even
first of all,
good.
Bro, listen. Hear me out. Ready?
We're just in...
Okay, Luke is annoying in A New Hope. I'm sorry. He is. He
Yeah.
is. He's super annoying in A New Hope.
Yeah,
He's like, oh,
I'm
but
sorry,
they're gonna kill,
what?
but they're gonna kill her. Okay, then save her. Do it.
And he
I don't know.
does.
Anyway.
Because he's a kid.
Oh man.
He's not
Okay.
a robot. He has
Okay.
He
emotion.
was like the same age as Anakin
But it's a different.
No.
in 3.
Can we just finish this?
No,
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
no, he's not.
Luke
Luke
was
is like
20,
18.
16.
No,
Luke
he's
is like
20.
18.
Yeah,
He's
Luke
like
is like
20.
18. He's like 19, 18.
Skywalker was 22.
Was he
Anyway.
Anakin.
So, obviously, like, okay, the thing is, there's not as much, like, I think the fighting was pretty terrible in A New Hope.
Why would you say
We'll get
that?
to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to it.
Look, no, let me finish. It's a
Based off
classic.
Revenge of the
I'm not
Sith.
saying it's a bad movie. It's one of the best ones. A New Hope is one of the best ones. I'm not saying it's bad, and it's a classic, and it sets the tone for the rest of them. We wouldn't have any of this without it. But what I'm saying is, I think Revenge of the Sith just, I don't know. It's
This is the nostalgia talking, you guys.
no,
Yeah.
it's not.
It is. It is.
It's not.
It is.
If you watched it
Because-
without any idea that it was a Star Wars movie, you'd be like, yeah, it was all right. The dialogue is
Well,
bad.
that's the point.
Still
You're
special effects
ignoring.
and
Because
story
3
problems.
is it perfectly tells you what, like, for people who've already watched the original trilogy, it's like you keep seeing like little motifs and things that are going to happen.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So it's so satisfying to see those things and be like, oh my god, that makes
But
a
the
little bit more
OG,
sense.
how's
now.
that better than the OG?
I know. The OG
I'm saying they're
Star
interchangeable.
Wars.
It's
I can
not.
make an argument for both of them.
That movie's
Even despite how good those motifs and little moments and tie-ins
Me and Nick don't even
are,
think this movie is bad. We just
me neither.
don't think
Yeah,
it's a goated.
it's just that dialogue, bro,
the dialogue is
ruins
not.
it.
You can't move past
and
that.
the
It's-
graphics,
can.
Listen,
and the
all
graphics aren't even
all-
that good. There's
all-
too much CGI. I'm sorry,
It's
even
not,
though it's
it's not,
good.
it's not that
There's
good
too
in New Hope
much.
either. And
Yeah,
yes,
but that
older.
was
So yes, it's older.
1970s.
Yes,
There
of
isn't
course,
any
it's older.
CGI, really.
Yes, of course, it's older. But if we're gonna but also like I think it's all of the Star Wars movies prior to, let's say, Episode 7. I think they'll have their moments of clunky dialogue. All of them do. Whether you want to admit it or not, all of them do.
Yeah, but the one in Revenge of the Sith is far worse. Almost every line delivered in that
That's
movie
robot
is,
talk.
is a little
That's
bit,
robot
is
talk.
like, that's not very good.
Padme
Most
was
of-
acting very well. Padme was acting very well.
She's the only one.
so is Ewan
who's
McGregor.
like
So is
that.
Ewan
Phineas
McGregor.
acted
His
very
lines
well.
Ewan
are still
McGregor
bad.
did good.
His
Ewan
lines are
McGregor
still
did
bad.
good.
McGregor did really well.
His lines are still
Yoda,
terrible.
I mean,
If
yeah.
you listen to Mace
I
Windu
hate Yoda in the prequels. Hold on, let me just do a little rant
Only
on
in
Yoda in the
3, I
prequels
like Yoda.
because
All right, we need to finish this one. Come on.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
come on,
hold
come
on.
on.
One more point.
I'll be fine with
One
it
more
in
point.
A. It is clearly
One
an
more
S
point.
for me, but I'm fine with it at A.
And I,
One more
I'm
point
fine with the
about
name.
Yoda.
I'm fine with the name. I'm just saying that my
okay, go
controversial
ahead, Nick.
opinion.
Go ahead.
Wait,
Nick.
just one thing that ruins Revenge of the Sith for me is Yoda and the prequels altogether. Because in the original trilogy, you learn how like wholesome and like caring is about the Force and like understanding the Force and being one with the Force or whatever. And then in the prequels, he's just all stone cold Steve Austin. Like Ewan McGregor, legit. Obi-Wan goes, he's like, I can't kill him. He's my brother. And then he's like, oh, you
Do
have
it.
to. And then he's like,
He was in
he's just
exile
like
for
making
like
up
20
he's
years.
making
It
up a
makes
random-
sense that he got
he makes up-
wiser on
he
Dagobah.
makes look. He
It was
makes
like
up a random ass
600.
excuse. He makes up a random ass excuse. He's like, oh well, I can't find him. He's like, oh, you should find him with the Force. That's how you can find him. Like, like what are you saying?
Well, I mean, no, it makes
Also, why
total
is
sense
Yoda?
because-
Yoda was so cool because
because,
he was like disabled and he could like lift all this crazy stuff.
Yes.
In the,
Yeah.
in
He's
it,
flipping around.
he's
Like,
flipping around like he's on a line now. Wow!
I mean, no, he
Really?
totally learned about Force Ghosts in that entire time. So, I mean, he's
that
still
was only
obviously a
20
developing
years though. He
character.
was already 600 years
He had
old.
already learned about the Force Ghost.
No,
He was
he
already
hadn't.
600.
No, he
No,
was
Yeah,
he
yeah.
told-
Qui-Gon
How
taught
does
him
he-
canonically.
how does he learn?
Canonically,
Yeah,
Qui-Gon
Qui-Gon
taught
taught
him.
him afterwards. John's right. He
Oh,
taught him
you're
after
right,
Qui-Gon
you're
taught
right,
him.
'cause
Yeah,
he
but
learned
in
to
the movie,
communicate
he
with him.
literally
Because he got
says
it from
in
the,
the but in the movie,
He
does
learned to
say
communicate with him.
he does say to Obi-Wan like, "I'm going to teach you how to do this." At the
Yeah,
very
no,
beginning.
in the movie he says your old friend has told me or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
and his
okay,
old friend
okay,
is
makes
Qui-Gon.
sense. All right.
Yeah,
Can
but
we
he's
move
still
on
an
from this
asshole in
now?
the prequels.
He's
Okay,
an
yeah.
A.
Okay,
He's an A.
hey.
We can
Hey.
agree Revenge of the Sith is an A.
All right, Dan, that took a while. All right,
Yeah, I
New
know.
Hope.
Yeah,
No,
you got mad
we're
at
gonna
me.
go chronologically.
That's an S.
Chronologically.
It's an
Yeah.
No,
Oh, you want to
stop.
go Rogue One?
Yeah, no. Next
right.
is
Oh,
Solo.
okay.
Solo's
Oh man.
next.
All right, I can start with this one because I have a very strong opinion on this.
Sure.
It's by far the worst Star Wars movie, and like if I had to rank like my least favorite films ever, it'd be in like my top 20. This movie's like the only good part of this whole movie is Childish Gambino. The number one
Yeah.
thing that makes no sense is that Han Solo in A New Hope at the beginning is supposed to be like this guy is like hard, like gambler, like he doesn't care about like these causes. But
Yeah.
in Solo, he's portrayed as a guy who's like, you're the good guy. He's basically just a rewriting of a story that happened 20 later. It
I
completely
totally agree with you.
defeats the purpose of his character in A New Hope. And also, the fact that he somehow funded the rebellion. Why would you like that?
Why would you do that? He didn't give a shit about the rebellion. In
Honestly,
the other one.
guys, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen Solo in like 2 years, so I can't even say anything on it.
Me neither.
I consider myself a pretty big Star Wars fan, and I didn't see it at all.
No offense to
I didn't
the
even
actor,
think,
but he did not do a good job. It doesn't seem like Han Solo.
It ruined it.
Han
That's
Solo's
why
supposed to be
can't.
like super like nonchalant stuff. This guy was more like Nick or something. Like he was just like he was just bad. Like in the story, like the action wasn't that good. The pacing was off. Emilia Clarke, who is an excellent actress, is barely in the movie. She's plays Daenerys in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Just a
and
really,
the thing
just
is,
terrible, just lame film. Just
with her character,
anything. I'd rather watch Phantom Menace before this.
Wow. With her character,
easily
though,
a D tier.
With her
it would almost
character,
be an E tier.
Yeah. With her character, though, I would say that also ruined Han Solo because at points in the movie he was like, "Oh, I can't do this because I care too much about her." Like you didn't care about anyone at the beginning of New Hope. It was just you and Chewie against the world. Like. I didn't think that the story was bad. I thought the action at points was okay. But, like, it was like that baseline, average, boring movie.
It was like a TV movie.
And then the part that ruined it the most was just that you didn't treat Han Solo like Han Solo. It was too Disney-fied. It was like, oh, he has to be a good guy.
I do remember that.
He's not a good guy. It needs to be more like Deadpool or something like that. Like, he needs to be an anti-hero at this point, not a hero. And he was just made out to be.
You know what I can't say was cool, though? That I do remember? Even if like it's just for 4 seconds, Darth Maul scene was pretty sick. I can't even.
Yeah,
lie.
but it's not gonna lead to anything.
Stupid.
So who really cares?
But it was sick though, just to look at. Like visually, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, because he was.
That's
not enough to make a movie.
I haven't seen Solo in like a while, so I can't even say like my solid opinions on it. I'll probably skip.
Can we just roll with it on D? Me and Nick both hate this movie.
That was the bad use of fan service.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there are good uses of fan service, like the Darth Vader.
I'm sure it was. I just haven't watched it in forever. I just think visually it was sick.
Yeah, it was.
Wait, Chandler, have you seen this movie?
No, I never did.
Okay, it's really bad.
Okay, yeah, so we'll bump to a D tier.
Now.
It's a
Solo.
D tier.
Whatever the next Star Wars movie.
All right, and the next one is
Rogue One.
This movie kicks ass.
I love it.
You want to open or do you want to open? Nick, do you want to open?
Yeah, sure.
All right, go ahead.
I am super high on this movie, and it also made me love spoiler alert, my favorite Star Wars movie, A New Hope, even more. Because it's just, like, people say, like, oh, the Darth Vader scene was fan service or whatever. Like, that was the best use of fan service ever. Because it made sense, first of all. I mean, it didn't have to happen, but it made sense.
And it's just
second of all,
awesome.
It was so cool.
It might be the best scene in any Star Wars movie. I love that scene.
Me too.
That scene gives me actual chills.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was,
dude, I went, something?
Wait, let me just finish really fast.
Like the blasters just flying.
Let me just finish really fast.
Yeah, let Nick finish, because I want to say something.
Because a lot of people were like, oh, I'm not attached to these characters at all. But I actually became really attached to them. And I didn't think they were going to die.
You cried.
I didn't think they were going to die at the end because it was like, I was like, oh, it's a Disney movie.
To me.
I loved the main character.
But then at the end, when
Yeah,
they all died, I bawled.
Yeah.
I bawled in the movie theater at the end when they all died. But then I went from bawling to crying tears of like joy and laughing when Darth Vader scene started because it's such a shift of emotion. And then at the end with Leia, I didn't even think the CGI for Leia was that bad. The Tarkin was bad.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Bad.
A little bit.
It was really nice.
Game.
I liked that. I really enjoyed that.
But that one it just tied it in perfectly. I was like, this is so good.
From the story to like the special effects are great, the cinematography, very good pacing, backstory with Jyn Erso, and then all the parts that Nick was talking about. I love also when he's talking to the commander, Vader, and he's like, be careful not to choke on your aspirations.
Yeah.
I was like,
I love that guy.
That movie is just awesome. And the ending is, bittersweet.
Third act is perfect.
Great.
It's a war movie. It's so good.
It's a bittersweet ending, and it also, as Nick was saying, it shows the amount of effort that went behind getting the plans to the Rebels.
Unlike the other Disney Star Wars movies.
An S tier for me. Really, just
honestly,
excellent.
for me, it's an
excellent movie.
Wow. I feel like
I would say S tier.
Beautiful movie. Really one of the best. I think it's better.
I would put it at a low A, personally. I was not a huge... Because, so, Nick, I agree with everything you said, but I agree with all of that and move it to episode 3. That's how I felt about episode 3. Like in the
Yeah,
same
the
way,
dialogue and cinematography in episode 3 was great. Said literally nobody ever.
I'm talking about in the way that he felt that it was such a good. It made you appreciate the originals more
Okay,
in
That's
that
true.
aspect. So
That's true.
I mean, I enjoyed each character, but when they were about to die, I didn't care if they died because
I did. I was so
because, like,
sad.
So heartless. I felt
mean,
more of
I
a
guess
connection.
so.
I felt more of a connection with the characters in that movie than I did with Anakin in the original trilogy.
I mean, the whole line.
I can
"Many
kind of
women
agree with
died
that.
bringing this." I was like,
Dang, that
oh, so
movie's
therefore they're all
amazing.
gonna die, right? And then they all did. So I wasn't
Well,
really going on an emotional experience.
The one on the beach, dude, with the music crescending and they're like
that's
hugging.
so
I
Oh.
really like.
And
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
and
Oh,
dude,
I'm gonna cry right now.
the fact that Disney it didn't even make them kiss. It was just like a wholesome moment of just them
Yeah.
holding
Yeah.
each other.
Human
I was
There,
like,
connection.
I'm not like. I don't mean to.
S
Oh.
tier. S
Like,
tier.
it's still an A.
S tier.
Guys, all I have to say for this is really quick because like I agree with literally everything. I think it's an S too. I like Stuart, Nick. I agree with literally everything you said. You know, wait, like not fun fact because this sucks. But you know what? I really wanted to see this movie, and I hate seeing spoilers. But you know who fucking spoiled it for me? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean.
What? It's
Sorry,
okay.
Matt.
So, yes, no, Mateo.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Dude, he posted he went to the theater and posted that scene on his Instagram, and I saw it
No.
Oh.
the day before I watched the movie. I was like, are you
Wait,
kidding me?
what?
Yes, dude. I didn't get that
That's
thrill in the
so
theater.
bad.
I didn't get it. I still love the scene, but I didn't get that thrill in the theater because it was spoiled for me. I was like,
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
so sorry.
That might have been that was the best. I think the last
That was
like,
the
20
I am
minutes,
your father of our generation.
The last 20
No.
minutes of that
no,
movie.
I don't think it was I'm Your Father, but it was just so amazing. And I wish I got.
Culturally, it's not that. But I think the last 20 minutes
Wait,
of that
no.
movie with the Vader scene, their death, and then showing Leia is
The
like,
Vader scene was
the best
really
of
beautiful.
the best of any Star Wars ever.
Bro,
Nick's
I
gonna
really-
cry on camera.
I was
Nick's
so
gonna cry
excited.
right now.
Dude, I
my
love the
God.
movie a lot. I was, and of course I was really sad to have that part spoiled for me. But I love it. I think it's an S.
I mean,
Even
I
as,
just-
as
I
a
just can't
film,
give
it's an
to
S.
Characters I don't really care about. That's the only thing that's stopping me from.
No,
giving
I
it
mean,
a-
I get it. I get it, Chandler. I get
All right,
it.
we gotta move on to the next one.
Yeah.
All right,
so
wait.
next
Can
one's
we agree that it's a low S at least?
Sure.
I
I
would
mean, I
never-
don't agree, but I'm fine with saying it.
High S. All right.
A New
Hope.
Okay,
So,
A
John
New
has a
Hope.
point.
S.
I'll start. I
Stuart,
guess.
I didn't say it was bad.
Nick thinks this is.
Do we even need to really talk about this? It's an S.
It's an
Yeah.
S.
starts the
It's an S.
franchise. I think it's definitely, or I don't want to spoil too much, but it's better than Return of the Jedi, and it's better than Revenge of the
yeah.
Sith. It's an excellent movie. Goes back and forth, started the whole franchise. Very simple story before we even knew anything about any of like the canon or midichlorians and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Dialogue is obviously it is a little bit grounded in the 70s with some of the the dialogue and story aspects, but the way that they did the ships was revolutionary.
So good.
Lightsabers.
so
the fight scene
good.
is a little slow. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever seen.
I appreciate.
Have you
fight
seen the
scene
fan-
slowness,
The
though.
edited
Yeah,
version?
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
Can I say
Because it was
something?
slow, but not too
Yeah,
slow.
Chandler, go ahead.
So I appreciate the slowness of the fight in the complete contrast of the fight in episode 3. I feel
Me
like
too.
it shows really
I
well.
love
Again,
it.
that's another thing in 3 that I was like, this makes me appreciate the fight in 4 so much more because it shows like the deterioration of probably 2 of the 4 strongest Force users in the entire prequel
The other thing
series.
is, I think that Darth Vader still would have been able to like take him down, like
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
because like he was not that old. Like
He
he's
wasn't
only
trying.
like,
Really
Or was he
quickly,
trying?
oh,
wait, really quickly. Can I say actually? I was thinking like a second ago. I want to give a revised thing of what I said earlier that made everyone mad at me.
Okay.
I think A New Hope. I think Revenge of the Sith is a better Star Wars movie, but A New Hope is a better film. I'll say that. How's that?
well, that's
Yeah,
well,
I
how
would
could it be
disagree
better?
with that still.
Yeah, because how could it be? There's
If you're gonna look at
all
whole
the
continuity-
all the characters in Star Wars, or not all the characters, but the idea of Star Wars, like the main characters in the Star Wars franchise, are established by A New Hope. So there is no Revenge of the Sith without it.
Yeah. I think it's a
And-
great, like it was a great first movie, like that they came out with, and again, like I didn't say it was bad. I'm saying as a Star Wars film, it's probably one of my, like I like other ones better, but I think as a film, it's phenomenal.
It's one of my
I
favorite
love
Star
talking
Wars.
about Star Wars.
I think it's me too. I love this. I think it's
Yeah.
my second favorite behind.
I mean,
With-
personally,
but-
yeah,
Between a certain one.
yes.
personally, it's my favorite. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
make a couple of quick points. Every time they go on the conquest to blow up the Death Star, Battle of Yavin 4, I get
chills.
butterflies every time because I'm nervous that they're not gonna blow it up, even though I already know what happens.
Yeah.
It's just like
That's a mark
I
of a
just
great
have
film.
nostalgia for that scene.
Yeah, that
so
is.
much. Also, a little bit of a controversial opinion, but this movie is my favorite movie for Han Solo. Han Solo is my favorite Star Wars character.
Oh no,
And I
dude, Harrison
like
Ford
him.
was amazing in this movie.
I
Yeah.
like
It's amazing
him
all
a
of
little
them.
bit. I like him a little bit
Well,
better in this
Han
one
Solo isn't
than
my favorite
Empire.
role for him,
Surprisingly,
yeah.
surprisingly, I like him a little bit better in A New Hope than Empire, just because he's a little bit more rebellious and not on that general role
Okay.
that he
But-
was in Empire. But I mean, that's a
He
little
does
bit
have
of an unpopular opinion. But
some amazing moments in Empire too. But
I know he does. Those moments in Empire are really good. But I
all
just
right, so we can all
I
just agree.
appreciate the
This is an
Yeah.
S tier.
It's definitely
Yeah,
S.
it's an S. It's an S.
It's an S
Okay.
tier.
5.
A New Hope.
The
All
best.
right, Empire Strikes
Empire
Back.
Strikes Back. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
S,
go.
automatic.
This is the
I
best.
think
one.
Automatic.
it's got to be the best one.
It's
I
the
mean,
best one.
for
It's
me,
the best one.
It's just incredible. It's a step up, I think, in a lot of ways from A New Hope with the way that it's because they got a higher budget and like the dialogue is better, the effects are better. Of course,
Mhm.
one of the most iconic scenes in film history.
I'm your
Vader
father.
and Luke. Also, amazing scene is when Han's about
And
to
the-
be frozen and Leia's like, "I love you."
Yeah,
I
And
love
he's
you,
like,
I
I
know.
I know.
Just the kick.
I love it. I love
that,
it.
oh my god. That-
Just the Cloud City, Lando's in this movie. Just really the battle on Hoth.
You know, it's
Yoda.
really a
I mean,
testament.
come on, this movie's just exhausting.
It's
There's-
so good.
I don't think there's anything I would change about this movie.
Yeah.
It's one of the rare cases, like
There's
especially
nothing
like,
wrong with this movie.
It's one of the
movies
rare
of all time.
cases for like the time, like where like the sequel is better than the original, because like
Terminator
Yes.
2.
when it used
Godfather
to.
2.
Well, no, I'm
Godfather
saying like it's like one of those rare cases. It doesn't always happen though. You know what I mean? Like that's not like always the case.
Oh yeah.
Even Catching Fire, in my opinion.
2. The movie was better, definitely.
Yeah.
And another small not pet peeve, like another small like thing that I really enjoy about it is
The opposite. of
before the I Father scene, I actually like the fight between Luke and Vader more than the actual reveal.
Yep.
Just because not only the cinematography, but the story behind it. There's no music in
And
that
the
beginning.
lighting. I love the lighting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
me
he
too.
pulls his lightsaber out and
It's so
Luke's
much
face
cooler
is lit up
than
by
it
the
is
blue.
in
I'm just
the
like,
New
oh my
Hope.
god.
Because in A New Hope, they're kind of in like this bright, like fluorescent area as they're fighting with Obi-Wan and
Yeah.
Vader. But in this,
All
it's
the
like
orange lights.
just
I absolutely love in Empire. I love how like in that fight scene how you know how unready Luke is for this, and like you see him like
And
he has
He's
this
like
shit thrown at
nervous,
him.
like his hands are shaking.
Yeah,
a little bit.
he's shaking.
Pulling,
He's
he's
thrown
even
at
pulling
him.
into the dark side a little bit.
and you
when
see
he's
that
fighting.
he has talent.
Not yet.
And Vader's just
Little
an
bit.
experienced fighter.
Yeah, he is.
I would say that he does that in Return of the Jedi, not
Oh,
in this
absolutely.
movie.
I mean, by that
He
point,
doesn't-
he's,
I
He's
would say
using
he
mind
doesn't
control.
do that in this movie, and that's why he loses.
Okay,
I don't
well,
think that he-
that's
I mean,
a
he would have
theory,
lost anyway, but
yeah.
anyway.
Oh,
So we can all just agree. it
And-
wasn't that best
And Darth
movie.
Vader.
Vader. Darth
I'm
Vader in this
I'm
movie
gonna-
is top tier Darth Vader.
I'm just gonna say this is the best one.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the best one.
Oh yeah,
We'll make you like a new
I would
one,
agree.
but that's fine.
yeah.
I mean, I love that movie too. So, all right, Return of the Jedi.
And I mean, even though I like New Hope better, this one's just
the best.
superior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have Return of the Jedi.
All right. So for me, this is my least favorite of the. I think probably for all of us, it's our least favorite
Yeah.
of the original. It's still
Yeah.
a fine movie. There's excellent parts, but
Yeah.
I definitely think that George sort of slipped into the Ewok thing was the first sign of like a not the best like,
Marketing.
choice. It was a marketing ploy, and it's kind of like some of the issues. A lot of the issues, especially in the first two prequels, especially in the first one. Like I just don't really care for the Ewoks. Other than that, though, this movie's pretty great. I mean, you got Yoda at the end, and at the beginning, well, at the end of his life, and then a very excellent and again very well filmed fight between Vader and Luke, and the whole aspect between the two of them while Luke is prisoner on the with the Empire, and then of course the amazing ending,
burning
and
Vader's
everything.
body, and then
Oh yeah.
the Force Ghost.
The
Oh my
Force
God.
Ghosts.
I love it.
And they blow up the Death Star again, and like the entire reveal, and also the beginning is pretty nice too with the Jabba.
Yep.
I always think that
I
goes on a
really
little bit
do
too
like
long.
that scene.
And you
Yeah,
think-
that is another.
Yeah,
scene.
the build up takes a little bit long, but
It's
I
like
really enjoy the
45
fight scene.
minutes. Yeah, I
I
do
really
like
enjoy
the
the fight
Django.
scene.
And I also think they did a good job with showing lightsabers
Boba Fett.
outside. Because it's like the
Yeah,
first time
you know.
I've seen-
Actually, they were gonna make Luke's lightsaber blue, but then they're like, we can't see this. So like,
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
looks it looks cool outside. And the whole
it really does look cool.
So what are we saying for a tier? I personally give it a mid to high A.
I would say low A.
I'll give it a high A. I'll give it a high A.
The only
I
thing
just-
that
I just
pisses me
absolutely-
off-
I like it a little bit more than Revenge of the Sith, but not a lot more.
Yeah, I
I
would
like
agree.
it a little bit. I like it a little bit less than.
Okay,
Revenge of the
that's
Sith.
I would say the only thing that makes me mad about this movie is how much Han sucks because he's not motivated to do it. Like he just wanted out. He wanted the money and then he wanted out. Like
I
Harrison
mean, that
Ford
makes
was
sense for
just
his
not.
character, though.
I know,
he
but
was filming Blade
he
Runner.
just he wasn't Well, yeah, he wasn't in the last fight scene. He should have been flying the Falcon, not Lando. Even though I like Lando, it's just it should have been Han.
I agree.
But Han being my favorite character is just seeing him being underused and then killing Boba Fett like an idiot when he was blind. That was stupid.
Yeah.
But
So we'll
other
throw it
than
in
that,
there.
Yeah, I just love Luke's development in this and how like he's so like heroic and like he's still like given all the crimes Vader's committed, he still feels like there's like a way for him to change.
And also, you see his
love,
development from the beginning of A New Hope to this movie as like
Yeah.
now
He's
like,
such a Jedi.
really,
and also Sidious is pretty cool in this one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
yeah.
He's so like even if he doesn't do that much, he's so like intimidating.
Yeah, just as like this figure because you already know about Darth Vader, but then this is other dude who's more powerful. And
That first line, that line Vader. You go ahead.
I will say I really didn't like Palpatine as a villain until I watched the prequels.
okay, well,
Like he was fine, like he was just there. But I was like, Vader is way cooler. I mean, a lot of people still believe
agree.
that. I would say most people still believe that. But the prequels really changed that for me.
yeah, I just think I would agree. I think it does add a little bit of a more of a like aspect to his character.
I just love that line when Vader's like in the beginning of the movie when Vader's on like the shuttle and he's like yelling at the guy and he's like and he tells him that Palpatine's coming and he's like, oh, the Emperor's coming here. He's like, yeah, be careful. He's not as forgiving as I am.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
Uh-oh. You turned your mic off, dude.
John.
No, John. Okay, well, I mean, I think we're good on this one. Yes.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say, John?
no, I'm good. I think it's like a high A if you ask me.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I think
So-
you can
I would
just-
say
fine.
I would say high, but yeah, we can
Sure.
debate whether it's better than Revenge of the Sith or not later. But now we move on to
the sequel,
the disappointments. The movies I wish didn't exist.
So there's always in pop culture. There's always such a strong recency bias. I feel like we have a recency deficiency here.
And we've just been like fanboying over Star
Oh my
Wars for
God!
the
Yeah,
past
it's
35
gonna be
minutes. It's about to go down the hill. Like
You know
this
what?
is-
Even if there is a bias, I'm still gonna say what I believe right now, and that's gonna be
Yeah, no,
overwhelmingly
I am
negative.
yeah.
Oh,
Right.
I agree.
What is the first one called? Force Awakens. All right.
First is Force Awakens.
This was my favorite. Of
I
the-
like this movie
the trilogy.
Me too.
a lot. When it
Yeah, I
first
do.
came out and we didn't know what the next ones were gonna be like, I was
Yeah.
like, this movie is astounding. Like I thought it was definitely better than Return of the Jedi at the time. But
Really?
then based on what happened afterward, like I liked the new characters, I liked the story, I liked the homages to the original film. Basically everything about it was fine with me for a new
the
Star Wars
acting is a
movie.
lot better too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Kylo Ren.
Me
I still
too.
like him.
J.J.
actually.
Abrams is good director.
Yeah, I share a birthday with him. But
We'll see.
anyway,
Really?
yes, he's a good director, Nick. Even if he didn't do a good job.
Well,
in the
no,
last
no,
one.
yeah.
Well,
I agree
no,
that
we'll
he's a
get to
good
that.
Honestly,
director.
he didn't
He did a
have
good
that
one
much
on
to
this
do
one.
with Rise of Skywalker. Believe it or
I
not.
agree.
He's
I
done
agree,
many other
but
good
we'll get to
movies,
that.
but yeah.
No, yeah. I
think
meant
Force
for
Awakens,
Rise of
what about-
Skywalker.
It looks
Anybody have
great.
anything else?
It looks great.
Yeah.
It's good to see Star
I really
Wars
like
for
Finn.
next generation. I
really
liked him
like Finn
then.
in this
I also
movie.
really like Finn.
I liked
Yeah,
him then.
I
in this
enjoyed
movie,
Rey.
I had
love
high
Finn.
hopes. I had high hopes.
I
for
liked
him.
Finn
I
at
did too.
first. At this movie.
Yeah, we'll
I
get to
have
that.
an
And
issue
Han
with Finn that we'll
dying.
get to.
Rip Han.
Honestly, I wasn't too broken up because
It was
I
a good
remember
scene.
when I
Because he was
think it was
so
a nice
old.
scene.
Jackson spoiled it for me the day, like a couple days before I saw it. That Han was
Dude,
gonna
what's
die
up with you
by
and
his own son.
spoilers?
I know
He's
what
so-
I
No,
have
like
to
all of them get spoiled for me,
but I
dude.
don't
He was
know if I
so
have the
old.
strength
He
to
was
do
so,
it.
he was so old. I was just like, bye.
And he didn't want
he was
to
my
do
favorite
it.
character.
Well, too bad. He's dead.
Yep, he's dead.
And yeah, I cried about it.
Yep. Good.
I
Well,
love
I would
the
say-
last scene. The
So
last scene where Luke takes his hood off.
I had this
I
in
love it.
low. I had this
Yeah.
as a low B though, because I
Me
think
too.
that its legacy
Yes.
as a film is just
Knowing
kinda
what we know
pooped
now.
on. Pooped on.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
Said crapped upon.
All right, here we go.
Last
The
Jedi.
All right, I can start my rant. All right,
Go
so
for it.
as I was
Rant.
ranting about Solo,
I mean, we don't not have a lot of time, so make your rant
Yeah.
relatively
I
short.
just
go
don't.
for it.
I just dislike basically everything about this movie. It completely destroyed everything that J.J. Abrams was creating. The only thing I really like about it is the dynamic between Rey and Kylo Ren. Luke's kind of disappointing. You know, he does have this cool one at the end, but it
But he
looks
wasn't even
nice.
there. He wasn't even there.
The entire part with Finn and Poe and Rose on the other planet. Rose is just terrible. When she
Yeah.
crashes into Finn as he's trying to save the day.
I was
That's
like,
so
kill me now.
stupid.
It's probably my least favorite moment in any
That's
Star Wars
so-
movie,
That
including
was
Sand,
so heroic for Finn.
including the part with Sand, and of course it's rough. Also, this is where I start to lose hope in Finn. I'm sorry, I like John Bodega,
Boy, yeah,
Boyega.
but he's kind of a little bit of an overactor. in this movie. He's yelling.
Well, he always
much.
screams Ray.
Stop yelling. It's just a huge disappointment in every aspect. What's her name? Holo or something?
Holdo.
Laura Dern just ruins it for me.
Ew.
It's just and also Leia,
Flying through the air. Screw that.
This movie
but
sucks.
I'll say respect though, because that was the last thing she ever did. I'll say respect though.
Snoke just
still.
being completely cast aside. He's dead.
Yeah, that
Chandler.
me on.
Chandler, do you have a
this
point?
movie.
Yeah, I do. So okay, the big thing that I really disliked about this. So like, I mean, I disliked everything, but like the one thing that you could have taken out of this was the relationship between Rey and Kylo, like Stuart said.
Yeah, that was the only thing I really
the fact
liked
that they had these were the first ones. I mean, obviously, because I would have been when episode 3 came out. I would have been either 2 or 3. I don't remember the exact month, but these are the first ones that I watched in the theater. So I was like, right after that, I was like, okay, this was terrible. Let me know. Let me see if I'm the only one who thinks this. So then I like look up a bunch of videos, and they're talking about Force Dyad, which is the connection that Rey and Kylo had. That's more than just like mental.
Mm-hmm.
But why doesn't anybody else have that? Why wouldn't Anakin and Obi-Wan have that? Why wouldn't
Disney?
Luke and Leia?
Yeah.
Any characters
siblings
that ever had a relationship in any.
The general problem with the sequels.
Han and Lando. It seems so arbitrary.
The general.
Like, I really disliked that. I've been
the general issue with the sequels is that they added stuff. So then you're like, wait, so why didn't they do that before?
And then they took out all the good things from the comics and everything that is no longer canon.
That's not canon.
The only thing that I really liked about, and it wasn't even executed that well, but the only thing that I even liked was the Ben Solo Kylo Ren character, and that was like the only, because I think Adam Driver's a phenomenal actor, and I liked it.
I agree.
And the sequels, I liked Kylo Ren overall as a character.
That's it.
And Snoke was the most useless character. Snoke was even more useless than.
So what tier do you guys have this?
Let me just make my quick 2 cents about it.
We never gave a tier for Force Awakens.
No, yeah, we did. It was like a low B.
Low B.
And then what about this one? I have it as a D, honestly.
Wow.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm totally with you.
Well, what I'm going to say really fast that nobody else has mentioned yet, not only do I agree with you about the Finn's potential totally going down the drain, as well as Poe's. Poe had so much potential in this movie.
I feel like I know your type for a Star Wars movie, Nick. Poe and Finn. Poe and Han.
Yeah. I was ready.
And he's a good actor, too. It's just
he's a very good actor.
But, like, what's it called? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Not only the part with the hyperspace at the end, that was incredibly stupid.
Also,
because that's just Rian Johnson making up random stuff about Star Wars. He's like, oh, yeah, we can do this.
They have to arc blaster fire in space. You have to arc it. You can just...
Oh, my God.
I mean,
and also, I really liked that scene at the end with Luke and Kylo fighting. But Luke did not have to die.
Luke should have been there. Luke should have been there.
He should have died to Kylo. I would have rather that than him dying because of his force powers.
I feel bad for Mark Hamill, honestly.
I agree with Mark Hamill's point. I think they ruined Luke, honestly. Like they made him like
they ruined him.
The only thing I liked is when he was like, "That's your text."
Yeah, but even
God.
Luke should not have. Okay, Luke Skywalker would not have. Luke Skywalker would not have tried to kill his nephew. He would not have cut off his connection with Leia. He wouldn't have left for as long as he did. He left for like years. He would have left for a little bit.
He would not have done any of that stuff.
There would have had to been more failure.
He wouldn't have even let Kylo fall to the dark side.
He gave Vader a chance, and Vader murdered millions.
He would have understood because he even used the dark side in that fight against Vader.
And he had the mind control aspect when his eyes start going.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to agree with Stuart.
It might even be. I might even argue it's an F tier, but I'm going to say D, just because
we don't have.
I'll agree.
All right. Last movie.
Rise of Skywalker.
J.J. Abrams. If he had control of 8, this would have been so much better.
I agree.
Exactly.
But the thing is, let me just start really fast because me and John talked about this after we first saw it, and we both agreed that we both kind of liked it. Like I said at the time,
in the moment, I liked it alright.
It was fine.
But after, just like The Last Jedi, just like The Last Jedi, after a couple of weeks, I realized how stupid it was. The pacing was
It was
awful.
awful. The worst
Wait,
of
can I
mistakes
say
ever.
something? Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
The thing about it, like related to what Chandler said, I feel like if this movie, like, okay, if J.J. Abrams just had the entire trilogy, it would have been all great. But the thing is, what the Rise of Skywalker, what its problem wasn't even fully its fault. Because first of all, J.J. Abrams to begin with didn't even have full control over this movie. He didn't direct. It really wasn't his film. But also, it was really like them like trying to pick up the pieces that Rian Johnson messed up, basically.
Yeah, and it ruined the movie.
So suddenly Luke's all like nice again. Like suddenly he's like, now I'm gonna catch the lightsaber.
It didn't make sense.
Yeah, Rian Johnson is the Jared Stidham of Star Wars.
You know what?
There was some potential there, but it really just ended up bad, and then he ended up getting cut. But anyway, he ended up getting replaced by a better director. But anyway, another thing is I remember reading online the point that it was like, get ready to return to the film with the characters you barely know. Like, I just feel like I didn't even know. Like, in a Return of the Jedi, you know Han, and you know Luke, and you know Leia. You know all the characters. I didn't feel like I knew any of them. Maybe a little bit I knew Rey. I did not know Finn. I didn't know Poe.
Well,
and Rose, even though I didn't like her, they just completely cut her out of the movie. There's like 4 lines.
I didn't mind it, to be honest.
Me neither.
Yeah, but Finn, again, just overacts his way into this movie and just completely useless in this movie. And also, a weird thing is, why is Lando hitting on his daughter at the end of the movie? Like, what is that?
That's so weird.
Ew! Lando's just like
also,
80 years old. He's like,
let's find out.
Lando in that movie is another bad example of fan service.
Yeah,
Same with Palpatine.
Lando.
Same with Palpatine.
Oh yeah, we haven't even brought it like that. You're gonna bring back Palpatine and ruin everything that Anakin did to bring balance to the Force. If they were gonna bring Palpatine
the whole storyline of Star Wars.
If they were gonna bring him back, they would have had to like preview it in the 7th movie, then like had it as a main plot point in the 8th movie, and then
they didn't
back in the 9th movie.
If only they wrote out a storyboard for all 3 movies before
I'll give the prequels that they had a plan. Like there was no plan.
Because there was an end point that they had to hit. It was a lot easier.
And also,
I'll say
another
this,
thing.
Oh, yeah, Nick, go ahead.
Another thing, just really fast. That scene with Palpatine at the end, I get that Palpatine is super powerful, and I appreciate that. Him in Revenge of the Sith, his power levels in Revenge of the Sith were perfect. He was super powerful, but not stupid powerful. When he legit just went, bah, and all the lightning just destroyed all the ships, I was just like, this is just stupid.
Also, another thing,
this isn't even the real him. This is just a clone.
How was it is a fantasy movie, at the level of something like Lord of the Rings. It's not a sci-fi film. But how the hell was Palpatine able to keep all the ships just hanging out there for like tens of decades?
30 years.
Also,
and
the
they're
way
like,
midichlorians
oh
are
shoot,
done.
we just figured out that he's back. Huh?
Yeah.
Midichlorians are also. I mean,
I did like Palpatine at the very beginning because I thought the effects in the theater were super cool when he was like.
To play devil's advocate there. I mean, Yoda was able to hide on Dagobah for however long, and it was because he had
but he didn't forge an army.
I know, but like it was concealed on the planet. So I mean, you could make if you're willing to do the mental gymnastics, you could understand that. But
I guess
I'm not defending it. Also,
General Hux just ruined no one cares.
Something very important.
What did you say?
Somebody else go.
General Hux.
Wait, can I say something? I think it is cool. Okay, while the execution of bringing Palpatine back was it totally diminished everything Anakin did. It's not a new concept, and it has been done better before without diminishing what Anakin did. Because in the old no longer canon comics, like there's like this series that takes place like a few years after Return of the Jedi, where like you find out that Palpatine like cloned himself in case he were to die. Like that's fine. Like it makes a young clone, but Anakin still brought balance. This is just another one of him.
But my question.
But they didn't flesh it out in Force Awakens or Last Jedi, so that's why it's like.
So the way that midichlorians work is it's the life parts of a cell, right?
Mm-hmm. I hate midichlorians.
And it's like the life force.
Sorry.
I mean, midichlorians are stupid in general, but they're going. Yeah. That's canon.
Mm-hmm.
So to make a clone of yourself and to get the same like midichlorian power is essentially impossible. Considering
how would you you'd have to get a DNA sample, and his body was destroyed. Where would you get
exactly?
It exploded in a reactor chamber, whatever it was.
Oh, because
I do think it's a little better.
Let's quote Revenge of the Sith for fan service. Oh, dark side service are unnatural.
Yeah,
I do think that there were enough interesting moments. there were enough interesting moments within the film that it is better than The Last Jedi. But I still
not
don't
that
like
much.
I have it as a very low.
I also had another
C
point,
tier.
but I forget what it is.
I also have it as a D. It's
I have it
high
as a
D.
D
I
as
find
well.
it as a D. It's just
I have it as a
disappointing.
C because I like it, but I get your Ds. I
just
get your
hate
D
it.
points.
I don't hate it, but I don't really.
Wait,
like
but
it.
what do you like about it though?
I mean, okay, like
The whole story is just trash.
Oh, I remember.
no. I think I just like
Beautiful, you know.
I like the technical stuff.
Full
I
fight
like the
movie
technical
makes-
stuff. Like I like the acting. I think some of the visuals are cool. It's more like technical stuff like that. I think story wise, it's very like it seems very like rushed and like okay, well Ryan Johnson just fucked up our whole thing. Now we just need to see how we can mend that because everyone hates us now.
Yeah. Well, one more point that I was going to add. Unlike the point that I made about Rogue One, where Jin and Cassian just embraced in the last moment, Rey and Ben had to kiss because this is
And
Disney,
it's an ugly kiss.
Disney.
and they're like distant cousins, aren't they? Aren't they like
No,
very
actually,
distant cousins?
no. Like one
No.
of the directors, one of the like producers had to be like, "Oh no, that's not true."
Well,
Yeah, but they
because
still kissed,
that was
and
also,
then-
that
and
also
then Ben
brings up one more
died.
thing.
That was so stupid.
But they only
Rey
said that because
who?
people pointed it out. They
Rey
only said that because people pointed
It
it
would have
out.
been way more interesting.
Oh, we
if
have to
Ben
acknowledge the Rey
survived.
Skywalker point.
Rey-
We have
that
to
was
acknowledge the Rey
worse.
Skywalker
That
point.
was like
Skywalker.
it was a perfect bad. It was a
No,
perfect
you're not.
terrible ending. It was a perfect
That's like
bad
you being
cap
like,
on the
Yeah,
franchise.
bro.
On the
Oh, yeah, Chandler Jordan or Chandler Jones. Yeah, let's go.
It would have been.
Bryant.
I heard online it would have been cooler if she actually said Palpatine because she's
I
like,
agree.
"Oh, I'm gonna bring redemption to that name."
Yeah.
Instead, she's
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna steal
It would
this
have been
man's name.
embrace your history.
She didn't
Instead,
even
she's
pay.
like,
she didn't even
she
pay the
looks over.
fee.
She looks over at Luke's Force Ghost. He's like, sure, because Disney. And then she's like, Skywalker.
Also,
Like,
why would
die.
another dumb thing twice is why does that like little at the festival at the beginning of the movie? Why would somebody be like, "What's your name?" Like if you meet Nick, and if I met you, Nick, for example, I was like, "Hi, what's your name?" You're like, "Nick." I'm like, "Yeah, Nick what?" Why would
Well,
you
I mean,
ask
Nick
your
what?
last
that's
name?
that's just like a culture thing. That like you can do that in like cultures that'd be like, oh,
And then she's
um,
like, I don't
like in
know.
old times it would be like, oh,
Like, shut up.
like what house do you belong to or something.
Oh man,
I
it's
think-
still
I guess.
I mean,
in,
like
like,
it's
one of
medieval
the
times.
They're Jedi Knights. There's definitely
Like
an homage
Jesus
to
of
be paid
Nazareth,
to
kind of.
like the medieval times.
yeah, like
Yeah.
one of a certain place.
One of the
So I
thing-
understand that bit, but it's still stupid. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have a place in a
You still have
2019
to-
This is probably one of the last things I'm going to say about this. But one of the big things that like definitely irked me was like, okay, you see Rey, right? She goes back to is it Octo or whatever? She goes back to Luke's planet because she's like
Yeah.
all distraught.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
like, oh, I need to go into exile now. I'm going to do what you did.
Oh, yeah,
It
why
takes-
is that weird scene where Luke has to like drink the milk and
Oh,
he's like,
No. So it takes Rey approximately 7 minutes to have a change of heart. Why did it take Luke? Why did it take Luke 10 years?
took Luke like 40 years.
oh
Like,
jeez.
what? Oh, because
All right.
Rey's all powerful because she's a Palpatine.
She's a Mary Sue.
Whoop-de-doo-dah.
Let's be real. Come
Yep.
on.
She is.
She's a Mary Sue.
All right.
She
She's
just
both
gets
a
a
let's just-
Palpatine and a Skywalker in
she-
spirit.
She's really unrelatable as a character. I don't really.
I don't like her, honestly.
She
I'm
just kinda
glad that
has
they had a
everything.
woman as the lead role or whatever, but they just did it wrong. I had hope for her in Force Awakens, just like I did Finn and Poe.
Because she was
But
good.
then they ruined everyone.
She was good in Force Awakens.
She was. Everybody
I
was.
enjoyed her performance.
Everybody
And
was good.
I didn't even hate her performance. No, yeah, I did. Never mind. I was gonna.
The only redemptive thing about this whole thing is Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. The
Yep.
character was
Yeah.
cool looking.
And
The dialogue was good and his acting was good. And
He was
art
the only
up.
character that didn't have like a big screaming flaw in the performance.
Yeah.
or-
And
He was well written.
Adam Driver is easily the best actor of anybody.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
And
And
also,
one
I mean,
more
Han
s-
Solo just didn't. Harrison Ford didn't even cut his hair when he did the flashback with Kylo Ren.
I like that flashback.
He didn't
though.
even cut his hair, dude.
That
Dude,
almost made me cry.
Dude, Harrison Ford really. Harrison Ford. Let me just tell you
I'm
right now.
sorry.
Harrison Ford doesn't even give a crap about Star Wars. He doesn't care at all about
Yep.
anything.
I know.
He doesn't
That's why
care.
he's such a
sad.
good. That's how.
He's
why
like,
he's
yeah,
such a good
I'm
Han.
gonna appear in this movie. Let me
Hey,
finance
kid.
my next yacht.
What do you guys think of the way they did Leia?
I think she
enjoyed
should have
it.
been.
That was the best.
My
part of the
issue
movie for me.
is that it
Yeah.
should have just been like.
Or
I feel
her-
like honestly they should have changed the story if they were going to do it at all in the Last Jedi. It would have been almost more tasteful not to have her in the movie because to have her repurposed footage and stuff in these last movies just seemed awkward. It would have been better to actually keep Han in these films. Somehow, at least he's alive. It just seemed a
They
little
weren't even together
creepy.
for long. Just
Yeah.
stupid. And one more point. I didn't even really like the fight between Rey and Kyle so much just because I don't like the sequel style of fighting. They're just like Oh.
Also, when Finn just
Oh.
runs out of nowhere, and then she's like, "No!" It just
He's like,
Because it's so like intricate in like the first 6 when it's like you have the different styles and it's like it matters.
Different forms of saber combat.
Obi-Wan's
Throwing
like
sticks at each
Form
other.
4, the defensive specialist one, and then Palpatine's a
Obi-Wan.
master of everything because of course he is.
yeah. I'm almost done.
And then Vader had to change his style when he lost all of his
Almost
limbs.
done. Yeah,
It's
taking a
so
while.
perfect.
I
And
know.
then it ruins it. Everything is ruined. Notice what was the
Be
lowest?
done like
What was the
5 seconds.
lowest one we had, other than 1? It was a B minus,
Yeah.
and they're. It is so late.
All right.
I don't even have the energy to get into
Dude,
it now.
all right,
Hi,
yeah.
Colin.
Hey, what's up,
Colin?
Colin?
It's a
All right,
D tier.
let's wrap up. Let's
Yeah.
wrap up the list. I'll read it
D
down.
tier. 9 is D tier.
Yeah, we got to go D tier for that one.
Works for me.
Everybody agree?
Yeah.
If you're
Sure.
still
Okay.
watching, you are.
I do think
literally
it's
the
better
greatest.
than The Last Jedi, but I don't like it.
By a tiny bit.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like a 60
Okay.
to a 62.
But it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
No, it's not his fault. I'm very adamant about that.
He could have done.
complete control.
He could have
All
done.
right,
Probably
He
all
could have
women
done a
do
little
that.
bit better. But anyway.
Let's wrap this
Okay.
up.
Yeah. All right. So in S tier we have The Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, and Rogue One. In A tier we have Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi, pretty much neck and neck. In B tier we have Force Awakens. C tier we have Attack of the Clones, and then Phantom Menace. And then in D tier we have Solo, Rise of Skywalker, and The Last Jedi.
That's fine. Those are the 3 most recent movies.
Yeah, because Disney sucks.
Disney
Disney's
sucks.
terrible. Hate
All right.
Disney.
Well,
Except like
well,
Disney movies. Disney movies are good.
surprisingly, this is a sports podcast.
We
So
spent like 2.5 hours talking about
I
We were
Kanye
gonna
West.
do sports.
in
See, we're
part
all
2,
just really interesting people, and that's why you guys watch this.
yeah, in part, this was just a 10th episode special, just for everybody who kind of wanted to see us talk about something a little bit different. But in
And I
part
started
2, yeah, and John was here. Thank you so much for joining us,
Yes,
John.
thanks for
No
coming.
problem.
It was fun having you. And also
It was fun.
in part two, which should be up around the same time this
10.5.
goes up. Yeah, episode 10, part 2. We will be talking about the Boston sports hot takes. I mean, right now it's 12:40 in the morning.
Wait, 10.5.
12:40
I thought we were
a.m.
talking about the ranking basketball and football championship.
Yeah, we
teams.
are. What did I say? Did I say
You said the
something else?
Boston sports.
Nick's getting delirious.
Oh, my
out
fault.
here.
Dude,
Guys, it's late.
we've
Want me
my
to take
God.
the point, Nick?
we've done too many
John,
Boston
thanks for
sports hot
coming.
takes
This
episodes.
has been Nosebleeds.
Yeah,
I'll
all
see
right,
you
Pop
next
culture
time.
hour.
Make sure to
Listen to
tune
my
in,
beats.
like, share, and
Everybody
subscribe.
listen to my beats. Buy my
Smack
beats.
the nice
John with the
big
plug
thumbs up,
for
turn
his
it
beats.
blue.
Listen to my beats. Buy my beats.
Nick,
Yeah,
And
bye,
if you-
John.
can you close
and-
it? It's
I know, I'm trying. And if you haven't already, make sure go
the
follow
first time
at
I'm not trying to
Nosebleed.
interrupt.
Yeah. Make sure
Proceeds to
follow.
interrupt.
Yeah, you're both okay. Make sure to go follow at nosebleeds __ podcast on Instagram for all the latest memes, updates, all that stuff about the Nosebleeds podcast. And make sure to stay tuned. Go watch part 2 right now, or go to the bathroom or take a snack break and then go watch part 2 of this episode because it should be up at the same time. And leave in the comments what you thought of our pop culture opinions as well as
If you want more of them.
ideas.
My
Yeah,
nose
if you
is
want
bloody.
more of these. If you want, yeah.
Well, you got
If you
this.
want more of these types of
Ah.
episodes in the future, let us know in the comments, and any other ideas you have for episodes in the comments.
Probably.
Make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to ACMi Sports on YouTube for the future of Nosebleeds that's going to be coming up as of the time we're recording this, about a week from today. The future of Nosebleeds will begin. So make sure to stay tuned for that, and we really appreciate all of your support so far, and we really hope you're excited for what's to come here for the Nosebleeds podcast. Thank you so much for getting us through 10 episodes, and here's to 10 more. Cheers.
Hopefully more than 10 more.
Yeah,
Hopefully more.
let's get through 10 more. Let's get through 10 more. Let's get through 10 more, and then we'll worry about the next step. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me, guys. Thank you for joining me this late at night.
Yeah.
From ACMi Sports, my name is Nick Antonakis. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.